What's up, nerds? Let's get ready to melee! Or ultimate! Or whatever Smash Bros. You made a character for. I got my water. I got a little Dr. Pep if I need a little bit of pep later from the doc. I made the announcement in the Discord. Boom, baby! Oh, I'm off-center. Everything's off-center. Everything's off-center. Hi, guys! How's it going? I hope you're cool with us listening to Smash Brothers music all night. Because, that's happening. If this is your first time watching my stream and you've never seen me have a body before, I know it's weird. I'm okay at using it. I have the thing that I do sometimes where when I stream, I manifest more of the flesh vessel so that I can do stuff like this. Look at you! And it makes you feel like, wow, Cinder's really connecting with me. Oh man, if this song was playing the whole time, I wouldn't be able to do stream. I would just do a little dance the whole time. Where's Twitch stream? We're just doing this on YouTube today, baby. Thank you. Originally, I gave up trying to make a submission, but Spag convinced me to take it up again. I made my submission an hour last night. Well, Shades, this is a perfect stream for that. So, every now and then I do a challenge stream where I have a very specific challenge that I try to ask you to accomplish. And this is one of those. And in general, for these streams, I'm going to give you feedback, but I'm not, like, deep diving it. So, for example, if there is a... volume shift. If there's a piece that has, like... It's, like, needs a mountain of work, I'm probably just going to be like, okay, yeah, it's got some vibes, but we're moving on. Because my goal tonight is not really to hound you about grammar. My goal tonight is to see how well you accomplish the goal of trying to turn a Smash Brothers character into a D&D character. But I also want to look at as many of your submissions as possible. So we're not going to be speed running because I don't want anyone to feel like I'm not giving them any attention or respect. But expect us to do more exploration than deep dives. Which means that we hopefully will see more. But also, it means that there's going to be parts where I'm yada-yada-ing through it. Because if it's plank against the brain to read, we're not worried about it too much. But suffice to say, if you only spend an hour and you rushed to finish your homebrew because you wanted to participate in the stream, this is a perfect one for that. Because I'm not going to give you a hard time about all that kind of stuff that I normally would. I'm very excited to see what characters people made. There's only really two things that I'm going to be serious about. One, did you design your character to be based off of the Super Smash Brothers character, not who they are in normal fiction? And then two, did you write their name correctly the way that I asked so I could organize it? Because I want to see how many repeats we have, and I was trying to figure out how to do that. And the easiest way to do that is if everybody fills out the form the exact same way, so I can put stuff in alphabetical order. If somebody messes it up, oh boy, we're gonna be so... statisticians, well, all of them are gonna be super pissed. Look at the rule of May is still in effect. Yeah, that is it's an unbroken law of the land for the month of May. It's not even something that I feel bad about it if it happens, but it's like, you feel bad when someone steps on a landmine, but you didn't make them step on it, you know? You went for Jigglypuff? You made Lucario? Dude, I am so pumped to see what people made. In fact, we are not going to take that much time before we start, because I have another exciting thing to tell you guys. I don't know if you noticed, but I have a new long-form video coming out. It's not a crazy long video. It's about 8 minutes long, so it's not long, but it's longer for me, for my videos, because I usually make shorts. And it is a completely new style. I don't know how many of you saw my last video where I used, like, crayon drawings and had my head bouncing around. I took that idea, and I just took it to the extreme. So the whole thing's a cartoon. It's all, not animated, but the whole thing is drawings. And I think it's going to be good. We're going to talk about some monsters. I think it's going to be pretty good. I didn't want to call it a YouTube long, because last time people were like, a YouTube long needs to be actually, like, at least half an hour. It's like, all right, bro. Chill. Anyway, so we are going to get started kind of soon, because the premiere of the YouTube video, the premiere of my new video is going to be at 9:30 tonight. And then, so at 9:30, we are going to end stream, and all of us together are going to go over and watch the new video together, and we'll hang out in the chat there. And it should be set up on, I think I set it up automatically to do that. So, we're going to do, so the plan for the night, game plan for the night, we're going to, tiny bit of hanging right now. Very soon, we're going to jump into looking at Smash Bros. Stuff. We are going to high-five each other for accepting the challenge and be like, that was a cool idea, or that was a neat attempt at an idea, but it didn't work. And we're going to punch everything that's not nice. And then, in around 3 hours, we are going to all hang out and watch my new video about monsters. And that's the plan. And if you like that plan, great. And if you don't like that plan, I'm sorry. I did not make a Smash Bros. Video. No, I guess that would have made sense to make a video that's tied to what the stream's about. But this is a video that I was working on for like a week and a half. And I needed it to come out. I needed to finish it. What's up, Bealzul? What's up, Animator Voices? What's up, Cat? I didn't say hi to anybody. What's up, Cats Plays? What's up, GeoStellar? What's up, Over the Taco? What's up, Sponge? What's up, Name? What's up, Lauren? I'm sorry I didn't say hi to everybody at the beginning. What's up, Dylan? What's up, Into the Indie VODs? Who else is here? Shades, I said hi to you. Panda, what's up? Scott, what's up? GeoStellar, what's up? Spag, Noisy. Who else is here? DM, oh, Demoise, welcome back. Demoise had a, so Demoise was one of the people that asked the question on my call-in show yesterday. It was a great question. Claudian, hello. Okay, gosh, I'm gonna try to pronounce your name. You're from a Swedish country. Maybe not a Swedish country, but you're from there. So is that like a, is HJ like, it's like a Y in the back of my throat? Hjalmar Ravenshosh. That's a cool, it looks cool. It's a cool name. Sorry I can't pronounce it. If I could pronounce it better, I would say it louder. Anyway, Parker, what's up, buddy? We are going to be looking at some smashies. We're going to smash it up. I'm curious how many people submitted. I really don't know. You know, you'd think that we always end up getting less submissions than normal. Oh, thank you, Over the Taco. That's very kind of you. Thank you for becoming a member. All right, I don't want words. Okay. Also, yeah, we're listening to Super Smash Brothers music all night. I hope that's cool with everybody. Obviously, it's cool with everybody. If it's not cool with you, I apologize. We only have to, okay, 22. We'll see if we get through all of them. I don't know if we're going to get through all of them. But the submissions are still open, so people can still send in brew. But anyway, boom, here's the wheel. You have D&D at 9. You can't come to the premiere. That's okay, buddy. You can watch the video later. You speed brewed your whole subclass today? GeoStellar, I don't know if you heard me say this, but we are going into this. We're going into this with a... We are going to be a glider today, okay? We're going to ride the wind current. So, if it is very clear to me that a piece has a lot of gobbledygook in it, we're not going to stress over it too much, because we're kind of just going to be like, you tried, fuck yeah, that's cool. This part's kind of fucked, but it's still cool that you tried, and here's a neat thing. So don't worry too much if you rushed it. Realistically, people had between 3 or 4 days to do this, assuming that they, you know, learned about it at some point over the week. So I always assume when we have these sorts of challenge streams that you guys don't have time to polish anything. So don't stress over it. Don't stress over it. This is one of those A for effort moments. Do you know what I mean? Crazy Moose, 10 months. Holy shit. Moving in a couple days. Just wanted to do something nice. Oh, buddy, that is very nice. Also, 10 months is, dude, our baby's a month old. It's time to give it, like, it's time to go get it shots and stuff. Get its immunization shots. Holy shit, Crazy Moose. Oh my god. It's gonna take like 20 minutes for that thing to go through because my announcements are fucked. But Crazy Moose just donated $100. That's insane. Crazy Moose. You live up to your name. But also, god damn it. Whenever people are actually generous, it's very hard for me not to break the facade and to actually be grateful. But I do want to just keep being a cartoon character. But it's so hard when somebody's actually generous. Oh my god, that's very, very generous of you, buddy. That's very kind. Very kind. I'm trying to find the fucking applause sound effect because it's going to take a fucking million years. There we go. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That deserves an applause. There you go. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Yeah, Crazy Moose is fucking crazy. But in the best of ways. I also feel like I don't remember. Also, he doesn't fly. He works on bases where they do stuff with. He's in the Navy in the desert. He does stuff with planes, but he's not one of the same people that does the thing that I know.
Have
somebody
a good
that did
one.
a thing that's different. I will have a good one. There you go. It came through. Because I know somebody that used to repair fighter jets, and I don't remember if that's what you said you did, but I think that's what the base that you did does. What's up, Pat? Pat, do you want to join me for this show or no? You don't have to. But I'm starting right now. And you record the repair. Yeah, that's right. You make sure the repair folks don't fuck up too much. You want to join? All right, cool. I'll give you a call. Ring, 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 ring. Patrick.
Hello.
Hey, Betty.
How's it going?
Dude, it's going good. So I don't know if you heard me say this to stream. We're gonna start very soon because we're premiere. I'm doing my premiere for my new video at 9:30, and we're all just gonna hop over there. So we're gonna just kind of dive in. But what I was gonna say, what I said to the chat at the beginning, and I want to just reiterate, so you can remind me if I get off the rails, but also just to keep us on track.
Sure.
This is one of those challenge streams where we aren't being nitpicky because we are going under the assumption that people did not have time to polish. And we're sort of just exploring them. And that doesn't mean we have to love everything, but it does mean that if something is like kind of jank, we don't need to dig into it. We can kind of just be like, this is a little much, or this is not enough. We don't need to dig through the weeds because I want to I want to explore a lot of these ideally because I want to treat this stream less like I am trying to fix these pieces of homebrew and more like I am just enjoying exploring it and discussing how it makes me feel. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Right, cool.
Listen, I'm looking at this wheel. There are fewer entries on this wheel than there are characters in Smash by at least half. I think we can do it. I think we can get
well, I don't want to rush. but maybe we will. We always have less.
We'll
anyway,
see how it goes.
we're just gonna start. Anyway, how's your day doing? How's your day going, buddy?
It's good. It's been today was weirdly my day off because you and I lead weird lives and we worked this weekend.
Yeah, we do lead weird lives. Also, Patrick, if for people who don't know who Patrick is, Patrick is the Dungeon Master for Unbalanced Encounters Rally.
Hello.
A podcast that I am one of the actors in. And Patrick is also my good friend, and we do all sorts of fun projects together, and he's the shit. And he is my co-host whenever I can pull the time out of his ears.
That is where time comes from, actually.
It is. But we're starting with Databank, and you should check it out. Okay. So we're starting with Databank with Dark Pit.
Yes.
Ooh, a good start. Now, I have a question. Chat, maybe you can answer this, or maybe you can, Patrick. What is the difference conceptually between Dark Pit and regular Pit? Is there a mechanical difference, or no?
In Smash, almost none. In the core games, maybe. I've never played them. So I don't know.
Okay. You okay. Chat, you'll let us know. It's the same. Okay, so this is called...
Name actually pointed out something that's interesting, which is that in Smash Ultimate, they released a bunch of characters that were like Echo Fighters, which are basically reskins.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, it's pretty much a reskin.
Okay, so I'm familiar with Pit. I'm good. So, it's based off of Dark Pit, and it's called the Empyrean Combatant.
Okay.
And they had a crush on Pit when they were younger, so they were like,
Cute.
let's fucking do it, baby.
That's very cute.
Chat. Enjoy. There it is. So it's a fighter. I've heard of fighters before.
Yeah, once or twice.
All right, let's see what we got going on here. The Empyrean Combatant. Empyreans are champions of the holy. Angels have taught you to stay on the front of combat, switching between dual blades and single large weapon to crush your foes. You fly through the air, striking foes as you wheel past them. Some embrace the angelic nature, while others are fallen. With darkened wings and necrotic powers, they fight, still protecting, but now with a sword moral code. Okay, I am going to give you a tiny bit of feedback here. This is a rough draft of flavor text, and if you go through it, Databank, and just fix all the bits that are broken, it's going to be good flavor text. There's lots of little stuff like words a little bit being the wrong word or the tense changing, but that reads to me like rough draft. So, and that's fine. All right, let's see what the actual features are. That's the part that matters. A dual blade specialist at 3rd level. You can use dual bladed. So, do you know who Pit is in Smash? He's like a little angel. He's like a little
double bladed scimitar.
Yeah. Okay, so you gain use the double bladed scimitar. It has the finesse property. You gain a special maneuver you can use in combat. Defensive slide. If you hit a creature while wielding a light weapon in each hand, you do not provoke opportunity attacks from that creature for the rest of the turn. You can only use this maneuver once per turn. And you also get blade spin. If you make more than one attack at a creature with a two-handed weapon, the creature must make an acrobatics or athletics check when it moves within 5 feet of you. What? On a failure, it cannot move any closer to you.
There's no action economy here, so I'm wrestling with this one a lot.
I also just don't understand. But like, if a creature moves within 5 feet of you, they can't move any closer to you. So I think you mean 10 feet, maybe? Is that what's going on here? Probably.
Yeah, that's all a little complicated. I would maybe change blade spin to be something more mechanically like whenever a creature moves within 5 feet of you, you can use your reaction to shove them. And if you want to change it to make it a little bit more blade oriented, like you want knockback, right? You want pushback, so you can use your reaction to shove them. I think it's probably what you're trying to get at here.
Yeah, it needs to sit more in the game. Like the fact that it's not even a reaction is a little bit crazy.
Yeah, and the fact that you have to attack them, but then if you make more than one attack at a creature with a two-handed melee weapon,
Also, you can't do that at level 3. There is no light two-handed weapon at level 3.
I'm just thinking about the double-handed scimitar. I think, yeah, you can use your bonus action to immediately make a second attack.
Oh, okay, so it's intended to be used for that. Okay.
Yeah, the double-bladed scimitar, if you're not familiar, is an official, probably PHB, I'm not sure where it comes from, but it's an official item
it's like
that has this special property with it. Yeah.
All right, an interesting start.
Yep.
I feel like blade spin. Blade spin makes sense in the game because you spin the blade and you knock them back. So the vibe is there for both of these. I don't know what defensive slide is. I'm not familiar with that move, but I'm sure it's something that Marth does. Not Marth. What's his name? Dark Pit. And then also he also gets wing dash. You can sprout a pair of ethereal wings and dash through an enemy. On your turn, you can forgo an attack and fly up to 15 feet in one direction of your choice.
That's cool. I like the attack action, the attack as action economy exchange here. That's kind of fun.
Yeah, I'm wondering how would that work with bonus action attacks? Would you be able to trade a bonus action attack too?
I don't see why not.
I think it reads like it's intended for you to be able to do that.
Yeah. which
Yeah.
I like quite a bit, because then you with the bonus action, you sort of get up to 4 attacks that you can kind of play with here, which is fun.
If you end this flight 60 feet in the air, you land harmlessly. You can move through creatures, but not end your movement on them. If you move through an enemy during this movement, it's a lot of that word movement. You can freely make 1 attack at the creature. Nah, I disagree with that. I think you're sacrificing the attack for movement. I don't think you get the attack.
Yeah.
I don't.
And
think
I also
works.
think that if you get rid of the attack, you can get rid of that whole paragraph, because you already can move. Well, I guess you can't move through creature spaces, huh? I don't like that you can do that here. I don't think that makes a tremendous amount of sense.
I don't mind the moving through creatures because it's a move that he can do in Smash. It's like a dash through guys. But I think that in D&D language, I probably would not let you trade it for attack. I guess you can only do it per efficiency bonus number of times per... I would make it per long rest, not per short rest, if it's a dash and an attack.
I mean, I'm going to be honest. I think this would be... I think this is doing the thing that we said may happen occasionally, where it's like reaching too much into Smash instead of trying to catch the vibe. I think you can catch the vibe by saying, once on your turn, you can forgo an attack and fly up to 15 feet in a direction of your choice.
Yeah, I feel like that would make sense. I would even allow you to keep the dash.
That's the whole feature.
Yeah, I would even allow to keep the through creatures. But
I mean, you can move through creatures, but I honestly think that if you get rid of the 60 feet or less off the ground, right? I think that
I'm okay with the 60 feet or less off the ground too, because it's trying to sell the fiction of you like being an angel. So I mean,
that's fine, but I guess my point is, if you remove some of the complexity around some of that stuff, you can get rid of the needing to resource gate it. Right?
Yeah,
and it's just a thing you can always do.
Yeah, I would much prefer it as a thing you can always do. Maybe limit how many times you can do it per turn. And
I think once on your turn was my thinking, right?
Yeah, that would make sense.
That's all it needs to be.
Yeah. Let's take a look at 7th level. We get our magic bow. Empyreans have taught you how to how to change fighting techniques quickly. When wielding a 2-handed weapon, you can use your bonus action, you're missing the word two, to conjure an ethereal string from end to end. The weapon becomes a longbow and conjures its own ammunition when fired. When conjured, you choose one of the modes for the bow. Light, it ignores half cover and deals radiant damage. Dark, its range is doubled, and it deals necrotic damage. At the end of your turn...
That's a really, really, really cool way to represent how those two bows work.
Yeah, I like it. Okay, I have mixed feelings about it. Because I agree it's really, really cool, but doubling the range of a bow feels almost like nothing. Because when are you shooting at something that's more than 600 feet away ever?
Yeah, valid. I mean, I think doubling
I guess the short range,
the close range,
it doubles the close range. But even still, that's 150 feet. I guess it's going to be useful sometimes. Sure. But I do feel like the half cover is so much better.
I mean, ignoring half cover is a tremendous amount. Is a lot better for sure. I wonder if there's a way that you could maybe increase the dark's power a little bit. Yeah, I'm not sure.
I don't know if you need to. Maybe the move would be to make it so you could. I guess you can use a bonus action, so it's just a bonus action to switch them.
I'm actually gonna say, I honestly think that if this is this our only 7th level feature? Yeah, this is our only 7th level feature.
Yes.
This doesn't need to be a bonus action. This doesn't need to be a bonus action. It's a free an object interaction for me to swap from my blade to a bow already. Admittedly, that bow doesn't necessarily have, the ignore half cover and deals necrotic damage or whatever. But by 7th level, it's probably not out of the realm of possibility that I have a magic bow. And so this is honestly maybe just worse than running items if I have to use my bonus action.
Yeah. I think the solution would be not to have it tied to a bow, just have it tied to shooting anything. So whatever I'm fighting with, I can give it the power of light or the power of dark.
Well, I think the idea is that while you're wielding a 2-handed weapon, you can basically turn it into a ranged weapon, which I don't think is bad, right? But I think that should just be free. I think you can just do that.
I see.
It does. Literally, the only thing that it does that would be better than switching to a bow, that the bow is, this is slightly better than a generic non-magical bow, which is nice. And also it frees up your object interaction for that round. It's like not breaking the bank, right? It should just be free. You should just be able to do this.
I could also see an argument for getting the bow at level 3 and getting wing dash at level 7. And making wing dash maybe a little stronger.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. I could see that.
Up the range to 20 feet instead of 15.
Yeah.
So maybe that. All right. Anyway, let's move forward. Let's move forward. We have charged dash next at 10th. Stray electrical charges cling to you when you move so quickly. When you attack a creature during your wing dash, you deal extra lightning damage. If you end your wing dash within 5 feet of a creature and did not make any attacks during your movement, you can immediately make an attack at that creature. The attack has advantage and deals an extra 3d8 damage on a hit. I feel like I would keep the second part. I feel like the second part makes sense. I don't even know if you need to put that much of a limit behind it in terms of not making attacks. I might just not let you be able to do this infinitely. Like, I might just make this on charges or, something like that.
Yeah, you could potentially do that. I think honestly, it could be really interesting if you're just zeroing in on that second paragraph where you land next to someone. That attack really juiced that damage, right? Maybe it's like 4 or 5 d8 lightning damage, and it's once per short rest, right?
Yeah. Well, I am realizing actually this is on resources because wing dash is on resources. Yeah. All right. Next is I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. It feels like a nothing burger. It feels like Smite. It's Smite. Okay, cool. We get Smite. Angelic wings. You grow a pair of wings you can use. At the beginning of your turn, you gain a fly speed equal to your walking speed for the next hour. At the end of the hour, you fall harmlessly to the ground and cannot use this ability until you finish a long rest or spend 1 use of your wing dash to use it again.
I think the use having wing dash be on a resource pool that becomes critical for the whole rest of the subclass, I think is a missed beat. I don't think that's the way to go.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, you could just fucking get a fly speed at level 15. That's not the end of the world. Like,
yeah, honestly, a fly speed equal to your walking speed at level 15 just permanently on. I've been saying this a lot for this piece. A lot of this piece you should just have for free. It's not breaking the bank.
And then at 18th level, we get our super smash, I'm assuming. Radiant Beam. Once you have charged your inner power, you can blast it back out. If you used a wing dash, not an, you silly goose, a wing dash on your previous turn, you can use your action to fire a radiant beam that is 120 feet long, 10 feet wide. Each creature has to make a con saving throw or take some radiant damage. On a failure, they take some damage, and they're pushed back. Oh, they're pushed to the end of the line. So they're pushed back 120 feet.
That's cool.
That's really cool. I might lower the damage a little bit, because 120 feet push is fucking huge.
I mean, honestly, what you could do is you could do...
Yeah, this is Pit.
You could do like 1d10 for every 10 feet they're pushed. So the closer they are, the more damage it does.
Oh, that's a really fun idea. I think the reason why it's knockback is because of the way you win in Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah, right. It's that you push them off the edge of the stage, which I really think is very
Overall,
funny.
I think it's a pretty neat interpretation of Pit. I think the main the main things that I feel, I mean, we talked about it, is I feel like the wing dash and dual blades is fine. It just needs to be changed a little bit. But wing dash, I think, needs some tweaking that will affect the rest of it. But overall, it's pretty solid little Pit. What do you guys think? I mean, this feels like Pit, doesn't it?
Honestly, like, again, I feel like there's some D&D stuff that got missed a little bit on the mark here. But man, from a Smash adaptation, we're starting strong. This feels like Pit. This is well done.
Yeah. My guess is there's going to be a lot of that tonight, because the goal was to make them as inspired by the video game as possible. And I do think that when people are aiming for that goal, it is hard to find the nuance of aiming for that goal while also making it feel like a full D&D subclass, you know?
Absolutely.
It's a tricky slope. Anyway, let's give Data a round of applause.
Well done, Data.
Kadoosh. You never played Super Smash? That's crazy.
Crazy. That's crazy. Such
Bug it a boo boo. But there's so many characters you love. There's like the ink guys. You like those ink guys, right?
Wait, are you saying I've never played Smash?
Didn't you say you never played Smash?
Oh. What?
Oh, I thought you said you never played Smash.
Oh. No,
right.
bro. I love Smash.
I know. I was gonna say, like, you're the fucking Wii guy.
Yeah. 100%.
All right. Okay. Jigglypuff, let's go.
Oh, it's yes, good, great, amazing.
We're in it. How do we fall asleep and kill everybody?
If the
Also, I
final
like the
feature
vibe
for this isn't called Hungry Box.
Why is this 2 pages? That's crazy. Okay, I'm just gonna read the first page. I don't think it's supposed to be 2 pages. I think you just wrote it
It's a
twice.
Warlock subclass. That's
but I think they just wrote it twice for some reason. I don't know.
Yes, they did. Yes. One has like art on it, and the other I think was the
art. More like, yeah, I like the art. Okay, it's called The Song. Ooh. The Song. You have sworn your loyalty to a What? Are you discovering something?
Yeah, they they left the D&D Beyond formatting tags in. You gain 1+ proficiency unsigned song point.
well, I quit math, okay? So we'll skip those words. Like, I'll read a sign, but you know what I won't read? A cosign.
There you go. Fuck a cosign.
An ancient melody which dances through all living things, weightless and free, begging to be heard. Okay, what spells do we get? Charm Person, Featherfall, Sleep. I don't know. I don't think we should get 3 first-level spells. We should get 2. Also, isn't Charm Person already on the Warlock spell list? I feel like a bunch of these spells are already on the Warlock spell list. Maybe I'm imagining
that. Warlock spell lists, they're not auto-learn, doesn't count against the number of spells you know?
No, they're not auto-learned.
Got it. Maybe the author thought they were.
Okay, yeah, so I would double check this. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure some of these spells, yeah, you don't know how to do spells. That's fine. But none of this doesn't work. These don't work. So when you're making Warlock spells, you got to make sure it's spells that aren't normally on the Warlock spell list, and you give them 2 first level here, 2 second level here, 2 third level here, 2 fourth level here, 2 fifth level here.
I will say Sleep, not on the Warlock spell list. I'm looking at Featherfall.
Check Fly, Confusion, Dominate Person, and Dream, and Shatter. Those are or Suggestion. All of those I'm almost certain are. Maybe they're not.
Yeah, Featherfall's not. I'll check Fly real quick just for the sake of it. I'm obviously not going to do all of these, but Fly is Warlock. Yeah, Fly is on Warlock. So Warlock definitely gets some of these.
Yeah,
for
so
sure.
Fix your spells. Okay, let's see what we get at first level. Because if it's spells that they can just pick, it's genuinely not giving them any power when you get a Warlock spell on their spell list. They do not automatically know them. It just gets added to the spells that they could potentially learn. So if they could already potentially learn it, ain't doing nothing. All right, Sky Bounce. At first level, your patron, there's no I in the word patron.
Your Patreon gifts.
Your Patreon. At first level, your Patreon gifts you the ability to harness the power of song, riding its flow and allowing you to boost yourself off of it. You gain 1+ proficiency, #unsigned song points, which you regain whenever you touch the ground. As a bonus action, you can expend 1 song point to rise 5 feet vertically. Your falling speed becomes 0. Falling speed is not a thing. You would just hover until the end of your next turn. While using this trait, you gain a fly speed equal to your walking speed. Okay, so I'm going to stop reading this here.
Whoa,
I'm going to stop reading it here. I don't need to keep reading it. They're trying to give you the ability to bounce like Jigglypuff. I think this is way overcomplicated.
Extraordinarily, and also
like sillily overcomplicated.
It's gonna get so litigious around like, what does touch ground mean? Can I go 50 feet up and then put my hand
quite literally
on the cliff?
Just give them a high jump and let them float. Let them float. Let them. Here's what you do: you let them jump triple their jump. You give them something. You can jump 20 feet in the air, and when you jump in that way, you know, you move 1 foot forward for every 1 foot down you fall or something. Also, yes,
or even you know, I think if you wanted to encapsulate that momentary hover, um, you know, your jump distance is tripled or whatever, right? And then whenever you would otherwise start falling, you don't start falling until the end of your next turn.
Yeah.
Something in that universe.
Yeah, that could work. That could work really well. I think it's a noble effort to try to accomplish the boop boop boop, but I think that it will be tedious to. It would be really fucking tedious in the game.
Be a whole problem.
And even just reading it, it's kind of gobbledygook. Like your fall speed becomes 0, but then you gain a fly speed. It's just like, what is happening here? So I think it could be simplified. Let's see what, and that's all we get at first level. Okay, a little weak for first level. Little weak for first level. We basically just get the jump at will spell. We basically can cast jump at will, which I think is okay. But I get we could go for a little bit more there, probably. At 6th level, we get weightless body. Starting at 6th level, the freedom of the song dances through you, granting you the ability to flow through the winds as it does.
The 1st and 6th level are just jump and feather fall.
Yeah, so 6th level is kind of a nothing burger feature also.
Yeah.
You just
also by 6th
more.
level, which is not quite the max level you should plan on anyone ever playing, but is getting there. We really don't feel like Jigglypuff so much as we feel like an abstract floating
No,
thing.
we don't feel like Jigglypuff at all. Realistically, I think what I would probably encourage this person to do is figure out how to get their song in at 1st level. And maybe
also,
the 6th level feature could tie in all the bouncy shit.
It's really unfortunate.
Also, where's the music?
it's just sleep, right? Like it's the sleep spell at 1st level is the only thing that. So, my recommendation for literally all of this.
Also, why are we even getting Featherfall? We basically have 2 subclass features that are Featherfall.
At 1st level, you should get something that approximates a little bit of a hover speed because yes, that's fun and that's a movement option. That's not a bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
Then you should get sleep as a spell, and by 14th level, that shit should be so buffed that it is relevant to high level play.
Or just an alternative feature that's not relying on the weird mechanics of sleep to make people
but like
go to sleep.
a way to put people to sleep that is buffed to hell.
Yeah, where's our B up? Where's my B up? I need a B up.
I think it's down B. Oh, you're looking for yes.
I went
correct.
Jigglypuff.
Like why by 14th level do I not have an ability to cast Power Word Kill on a sleeping target?
Right,
like where's that happening?
Let's see what we get. At 10th level, we get protection from the song. We have a bunch more flavor text that I'm just gonna skip. I apologize. I don't like this much flavor text in anything. I get tired of reading it. You cannot be surprised while you're unconscious.
Is that
weird?
The opposite of how Jigglypuff works in Smash.
Yeah.
That's the whole nerf
Additionally,
of falling asleep. Is
when
that
you are awakened, you can make 1 attack against the creature of your choice. If it hits, it deals extra charisma modifier thunder damage and pushes them 20 feet away. Okay, so I think, here's what I think. I think 2 things. 1, it's fucking weird to give a feature where you are immune to the surprise condition when you're asleep, but not awake. Also, you literally can't do anything to avoid this, like... So I would completely. I think this needs a redo. This is their down B. That's what they're trying to do here. Is the down B. But I don't think it hits. I don't think it hits nearly. Yeah, that's not how it works at game. I don't think it hits nearly hard enough. The other thing is like, we are a fucking warlock. Like, when are we attacking something within 5 feet of us? Like.
Well, I mean, you could take Pact of the Blade, which would be
but
a
there's
wild
so
thing
many
to give
other
this
ways.
Jigglypuff.
There's so but if you are playing if you are designing a thing to be a spellcasting class like a warlock. And you want to give them a feature that is a melee explosive feature, you don't tie that to an attack roll. You tie that to spellcasting.
Yeah, right.
You tie
that's
that to
exactly
spellcasting.
Yes, that's exactly.
Make
And
it
that's
a
exactly
saving
what I'm
throw.
saying. Is like this should be a thing that you get to do on someone that is asleep.
Yeah.
Not a thing that has to do with you coming out of sleep.
Yeah. Like, because that's the whole point, is you put yourself to sleep to bust up some chops. It would almost be the opposite. Like, as an action, you could do some explosive thing and you go unconscious for some amount of time.
Right. Correct.
And then we get Puff Up at 14th. You may pull the power of song from your environment, reshaping and growing it as a result of power. Don't use the word power twice in one sentence. As an action, you can grow to take up a 20-foot radius sphere. Any creature in the area is forced out, has to make a saving throw, or take some bludgeoning damage and knocked prone. On a successful save, they take half as much and knocked prone. You shrink back to your normal size at the end of your turn. So
this is truly...
This needs to be limited in use. Oh, it is. You can only use it once per long rest. This is Kirby's. This is Jiggly's Super Smash.
Yes. Which I genuinely don't think that 60, 10, to 20-foot radius once per long rest is anywhere near powerful enough for 14th level. It's a single casting of single casting of Fireball. It's slightly better.
Yeah.
It's like on average, it's like 3 damage better.
I would probably.
And I think it's actually much smaller because now that I'm thinking about it, isn't Fireball a 30-foot radius?
No, it's 20-foot.
Is it? Okay, so it's a slightly better Fireball.
Yeah.
Once per long rest.
I'm wondering how else would you go about expressing that? I feel like I would do bigger knockback. I feel like I would lean into like it would
the
be
knockback shouldn't be save based, right? Like this is the place where unequivocally everyone who's in that space gets pushed that distance regardless.
Yeah, because you're that big.
The save should be damage and only damage. The knockback and the displacement should be guaranteed.
Yeah. If you just got here, we are looking at subclasses that are inspired by and trying to replicate the feeling of Super Smash Brothers characters. So this one is Jigglypuff. Overall, I think there's a couple things that you tried to do here that feel really nice, but honestly, it feels like you're missing the bones of Jigglypuff.
Yeah, it does. This one we need the not feeling like Jigglypuff.
And I sleep punch, not I sleep wake up punch. Okay, but A for effort. B- for execution. Round of applause for our dear pandas.
I will say, going out on a limb and making this a warlock, I don't think necessarily paid the dividends that you were wanting it to, but I think it could, because I think that with invocations and pact interactions, there's a lot of cool different ways that you could represent, like Jigglypuff's smack.
Yeah, it didn't feel like a warlock at all. Like the only reason why it felt like a warlock was because you got a spell list.
Right.
Yeah.
So. Missed the mark a little bit, but it was an interesting idea to start with.
Yeah, listen, man. For these contests, we're just trying shit.
We're out here rolling the dice.
Yeah. Speaking of rolling, rolling. Hey, it's a rolling. It's an unenthusiastic potato. You guys thought I was singing one song, and then I turned it into another because I'm like that band Girl Talk, where they mix music. This is unenthusiastic potato. Kirby. Oh, from one puffball to another.
Yes.
Let's see how they try to handle the many jumps mechanic, which is literally the first feature they gave them. It's also a monk, which I feel like makes a lot of sense. Because so much of Kirby is covered with the monk already. Like the when he does like the
No, he has flurry of blows. He just has flurry of blows.
Yeah.
This is my boy has been seen. Good job, potato.
Okay. Also, I love this flavor text. Emulate Kirby. I'm too tired to write this. I just picked a few things Kirby can do as abilities. Brother, that is literally that's the goal. If you have done that, you are playing the game.
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. At 3rd level, we get many jump technique. Yeah. Starting when you choose this tradition at 3rd level, you can manipulate the air around you using your ki, similar to how Kirby manipulates the air. When you jump or fall, I would take out the similar to Kirby because it's not similar to Kirby. You are Kirby. When you jump or fall, you can use your reaction to push yourself up to 6 times, moving up to 5 feet in any direction. You can use this to return to where you fell. You may... Why did you use the word may?
We have to end now?
Yeah. We have to stop looking at it. I would love to talk about it more.
Oh my god, damn it.
I would love to talk about it more.
No, I'm so upset. I'm so sad.
Somebody didn't read all the instructions.
My boy.
I know it had so much potential. I honestly, I was really ready to talk about it. Well, I'll tell you what. I hope who was this? Unenthusiastic Potato. I really hope that you submit this on another day because I would love to look at it.
Cinder.
Yes.
If they're watching,
yes.
Can they fix it and resubmit?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I'll settle for that. I'll accept that.
Potato, if you watch this, if you fix it, let me know and I'll add you back to the wheel.
Let's get those 07s in the chat.
But Maze got to go. Maze got to go.
Yeah, no, I mean it's the rule and it's a good rule and it's
You shouldn't be on that twice.
I'm just mourning the loss.
Yeah. We all are. It's a sad day for us all, but you know what? Out of that sadness will rise a dawning of a new era where lion and hyena work together in a great and glorious future.
Yeah! We're here for it.
Yeah, man, listen, if you don't read the instructions, sometimes it's bad. All right, Hexagonal is up next. Oops. Get away. Joker. I have no idea who Joker is.
Oh, from fucking... He's relatively new. He's from... Oh my god, what fucking game is he from?
So... It is a little... So you are... When it is a piece that I don't know who the person is, I'm really just judging the piece, just so you know.
Yeah. Yep, 100%. He's from fucking...
He's from Persona. No, I know that he's from Persona 5,
thank
but
you.
I've never played any of the Persona games, and I haven't
Me
played
either.
the Smash that he's in.
Yeah.
Awakened Persona. Starting at 3rd level, when you choose this archetype, you have a font of revolutionary energy inside you. That sounds very anime. This energy is represented by your rebellion dice. Oh my god, it's so anime. Which are each a d6. You have revolution energy, which is represented by rebellion dice. My god. And you know what? You know what else? Nobody understands.
Hold on. What? Cinder, before we do anything, what class is
It's a rogue.
This is rogue?
Yeah, it's a rogue.
Rogues get features at what? 3rd?
3, 7, 3. It's 3, 9, 13, 17?
Okay.
3, 9, 13,
before
17?
we get too deep into this, they did not write a 13th or 17th level feature, and they wrote 2 or 3 3rds and 2 9s.
All right. Well, we're gonna read the 3rd level features at least.
Okay. Just letting you know.
We get rebellion dice, and they do stuff. You start with 0, but taking certain actions causes you to gain 1. Okay. I'm gonna say this right now. This has nothing to do with this thing. If you use this mechanic for gaining resources, you have to essentially imagine that you have infinite resources. So you have to pretty actively make the features that are spending those resources much weaker. You have to basically make them infinite use features because you are essentially making an infinite use feature.
So this is wild.
Wait, so let's see what it does. So you get these resources,
Wild.
you get proficiency bonus. You can have a maximum proficiency bonus, but you start with 0, but you essentially have infinites. Okay, manifestation. As a bonus action, you can expend a die to gain one of the following benefits. You can roll a die to gain temporary hit points equal to twice the number rolled. Weapons with the thrown property return to your hand immediately. Attacks you make with ranged weapons can deal 2d4 force damage in place of their usual damage die. Additionally, they produce their own spectral ammunition.
Sure.
And all of this is just for one attack?
What? No, it's for
1 minute. Okay, 1 minute. Once per short rest is an
You get
action,
so
you gain a
many
number of rebellion
die.
die equal to your proficiency bonus. You gain 1 die when you deal your sneak attack damage. Oh, yeah, that's infinite, dude. That doesn't work. So here's what I'm going to say.
Always going to be all.
So here's what I'm going to say. If you are making a feature that you basically have infinite use of, you just can make it infinite use. So cut all of this stuff out. You don't need any of it. Just turn all of this into casual features they can use, and then be honest with yourself about how powerful these are if they're infinite, and make them reasonable for that. Yeah, if this is maybe this system has to do with the game, but that's tedious for no point.
I mean, here's a thought. What if, could you simplify literally all of this by saying whenever you score a critical hit, you get the following benefits for 1 minute?
On a critical hit?
That's effectively what's happening. It's critical hit and bonus action. So maybe you could say on a critical hit, you could spend your bonus action to get all of these things for a minute.
I don't like making things trigger off crits. I like characters being in control of when things can happen.
I genuinely think that's I forget how Joker plays. It's been a long time and I've only ever played him like twice, but I genuinely think that like that kind of thing is a big part of how he works. Like the more damage he racks up.
So maybe I think the way to do that though would to make a very simple charge mechanic where you either have a charge or you don't. Keep it like that.
Yeah, I think that's right.
When
but
you
I think
sneak
that
attack, you gain you gain a rebellion charge, and you can expend that rebellion charge to do one of the following things, and it's that simple.
Fair, yeah. I mean, I think that's a little further from the character, but it's probably the way to do it, especially if you're going to do it at 3rd level, which, to be honest, I don't know that that's how I would represent this character at 3rd level. This is a lot, and I feel like this may all have been better served being later in the feature stack.
I will also say, I'm not sure what this character is supposed to feel like, but there is no fiction that is being sold here. This feels like 3 random powers. From somebody who doesn't know the character. I don't understand. I'm not understanding the character yet.
I'm going to be honest, the character makes no fucking sense. He's a guy with a gun that when he shoots you enough, turns into like a devil creature with a bunch of magic powers. It doesn't make any sense in Smash either.
Okay. I mean, maybe I would lean more into the magic gun and less into like trying to fit in like temporary hit points and stuff.
And that's exactly what I'm saying, is like the 3rd level should be trying to sell like the gun and any of the like subtle ways in which the spirit can help you, as opposed to the full transformation, which is not his final Smash, but is kind of a more ultimate limit break thing.
Yeah.
Also, somebody said this should be a warlock. I don't disagree.
Yeah, why isn't this a warlock? Okay. Additionally, at 3rd level, you get proficiency with firearms and crossbows. You already have proficiency with crossbows.
Firearm proficiency is generally not something that you need to worry about because it's an optional rule anyway.
Yeah. Additionally, attacks made against a target within 5 feet. Even weapons don't have disadvantage. This is just a feat. I wouldn't just give you a feat.
No,
this is just crossbow expert. I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
I would do something unique. And then at 9th, we get Rebel's Guard. You can use your reaction to deflect your opponent's strikes when you are hit with an attack. When you use your Uncanny Dodge feature, you can reduce the damage by half of your rogue level. Uncanny Dodge is already reducing damage, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's half of the damage.
I don't think you need to put a hat on a hat.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Wait, is Uncanny Dodge the dexterity saving throw one?
It's not.
Or is it the reaction one?
It's reaction.
Oh yeah,
so
we don't need to.
Damage.
If you wanted to make Uncanny Dodge do something else, make it do something else. But it's already having damage. It doesn't need to do anything else. If you reduce the damage to 0, you get a rebellion die. If you do while the manifestation is active, I literally don't know what manifestation is.
It's the whole slug of things.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think. All right, we're skipping around a little bit. I'm gonna stop reading that repeat. Let's move on to the next one. Starting at 9th level, you can, because what is this? This is just nothing. This is just you're making Uncanny Dodge do what it does more, and you're making another way that you can get your infinite resource back that you already have infinite of. And then you get Wings of Rebellion. Starting at 9th level, you can expend 2 Rebellion die to give yourself a fly speed, which is walk speed. Everybody and their grandma wants a fly speed, huh?
Smash a lot of flight, because the verticality is really, like, getting back onto the stage is really important. There's a lot of flying in Smash.
When you take this action, you can make an attack with a thrown or ranged weapon as a bonus action.
I mean, I don't think you need something, but it's hard to know in isolation.
Yeah, I don't know if you need that. You're getting the fly speed for a whole minute. And then your movement speed increased by 10 feet. Yeah, it's a little scuffed. As someone who is not familiar with Persona or this character, I can say with confidence that I am still not familiar with Persona or this character. But for anybody that does play Persona this character, maybe it's a really accurate depiction. I don't have more thoughts.
I'm going to be honest. I see where they came from, but I would not have gone in that direction, right? Like, I very strongly would have recommended, like, 3rd level, focus on gun, and honestly, maybe some of the flight stuff. Then, 9th level or even 13th level, start thinking about rebuilding charge up to your, like, limit break thing. and you just didn't do a 17th level, which I'm assuming in the way that these have been going would have been the final Smash, but like, it's a little out of order.
Yeah. I like the idea of a guy that has guns that when he shoots people, he turns into a demon. That sounds fun.
Yeah, I think the thing to balance is that in Smash, it's when you shoot people a lot, you turn into a demon, and there's no like small version of that, right?
Yeah.
So
hexagonal. You don't need to apologize, dude.
Yeah.
This is what you made. We're just talking about it.
No, it's all good.
You didn't do anything wrong. My beard looks stellar. No, it doesn't. It looks glamorous.
It looks astral.
Yeah, hexagonal. Thank you very much for sharing. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk. If this is your first time submitting homebrew, I don't know if it is, but I just tell it like I see it. It's no indication that you are doing anything wrong. It's just saying how I feel. All right. Thank you very much for sharing. Let's give hexagonal a big round of applause.
Also, for anybody who's just joining, we said this a couple of times that like these challenge-based ones are very much like, hey, do something weird, right? Like try something.
Yeah.
We're not expecting publishable greatness out of any of this because it's more about finding something interesting, doing something kind of cool.
Yeah, I think the tricky thing is is doing something interesting and kind of cool, but doing so in a way that it not only does the job, but it still works as a D&D subclass and still feels like it sells itself in the context of D&D. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Again, I think one of the outstanding moments from that this evening has been the light bow for Pit ignoring half cover, right? Is like that's such an excellently sniped way to handle like, oh, I get joystick control of the projectile.
Yeah. It's a fun one.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Who was your favorite? Did you have a go-to character?
I had a couple, and obviously it changed kind of game over game. I played a lot of... I was an Inkling main in Ultimate
really?
when I played a lot. Yeah, Inkling's real
I think
good.
someone made an Inkling here. I think I saw one.
I'm excited. Inkling is truly exceptionally good as a character. I also really liked Ness and Lucas. I played a lot of Lucas in the one before Ultimate, 4 I think, and then Ness in Brawl and Melee.
Remind me who Shulk is. Is Shulk the guy that has the sword that has like 3 different stances?
Exactly. I'm really feeling it. Yeah, that
I like Shulk. I liked him.
Yeah, he's fun. He's a weird character and very hard to play, but he's cool.
I liked him because he reminded me of Ike, and I like Ike.
Ike is just in the game.
Ike was my favorite character.
Yeah, Ike is good.
I fucking killed with Ike. I wasn't even that good at the game. I just got really good at landing those warm-up shots.
100%.
Oh, an Artificer, my favorite class. I love reading Artificers.
You know what? I'm not gonna lie though. It honestly does track. It honestly does.
Yeah. I'm sure it does. Mondo wielders are weaponsmiths who understand.
Monado.
Mondo wielders are weaponsmiths who understand that even the sharpest blade is dulled by unsharpened minds. Studying combat in the arcane arts is science. Their intuition allows them to seemingly predict the future and turn the tides in their favor.
Okay, we need shorter sentences. My kingdom for a shorter sentence. They're not bad sentences, but fuck me, they're long.
No, but they all are long. Look at this.
They're all long. I think we're not going to read the rest of them.
Yeah,
it's
shock. Yeah.
It's shock. He's really feeling it.
You get Smith tools. Cool. Okay. What spells do we get? We get
Shield. Hunter's Mark. That's cool. I love this spell list, bro. Oh man.
Warding Bond, Augury, Beacon of Hope, Thunderstep, Aura of Purity, Staggering Smite, Steel and Strike, Destructive Wave.
What does Aura of Purity do?
I think it makes you a virgin again.
Can't become diseased, resistant to poison damage. That one doesn't quite hit the mark for me. That one's a little weird. Might just be my personal vibe, but I really like the rest.
I like the spell list too. So it feels good. I don't know the lore of him that much, so like I couldn't argue for like Augury, or Beacon of Hope, but all the fighty ones feel like they're on the nose.
I feel he definitely does get some stuff in Smash that's like I can move faster than everyone else, and everyone else like moves a little slower. So like I can kind of see like some divination stuff in that space.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna be honest. Shield and Hunter's Mark on an Artificer is probably the coolest 3rd level choices for an Artificer I've ever seen. That's fucking sick.
It definitely helps create a vibe.
Yeah.
At 3rd level, we get 2 features, Battle Ready and Mondo Arts, which
Mondo Arts!
We get Battle Ready. You're proficient in martial melee weapons. When you attack with a weapon, you can use your intel. Okay, so you get the Battlesmith's Punch. But then instead of getting a puppy, you get whatever this is. Also at 3rd level, you get Mondo Arts. These arts
Including
are full
the
of
buttons.
Mons. Dude, I think a lot of people include the buttons.
That's so good.
You learn to imbue your weapons with Mondo Arts. Choose 2 Mondo Arts to prepare from the 5 listed below. While you are wielding a weapon, a magic weapon, you can enter a Mondo Art, and you have prepared as a bonus action. I'm not even understanding the words I'm saying because I'm just laughing at the saying Mondo.
Let me reread that.
Okay, so you pick 2 from these 5.
And those are the ones that you just have.
You just have them. And while you're wielding a weapon, you can activate them with the bonus action.
Yeah, with a bonus action that you have prepared. You can only have 1 active at a time.
You can change them over a long rest.
Unequip the weapon or activate a different Monado art, your previous one is canceled. So it's basically, you have 1 active stance at a time. You pick 2 that you can choose from.
For that day. They're almost like, it's almost like a separate list of known spells. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's a little clunky to get your head around, but it works. I think it's actually quite good.
The thing is, realistically, if they are simple, it's not that complicated.
No.
Like, the other thing is,
the management is complicated.
The other thing is, I want to point something out here that they're doing really nicely.
Yeah.
Look how quickly they explain a reasonably complicated mechanic.
Yeah. It's like, and it's also formatted really nicely. I can glance at this and be like, oh, I see all 5 Monado arts clearly. I know where the options are.
Yeah, and you get more as you level up. Let's see, we get jump. Your maximum horizontal and vertical jump distance are both become equal to half your movement speed, and you can take the attack action during a jump. Can you not normally do that?
You can.
You also become resistant to falling damage. All right, that's kind of interesting. Wait, are these always on? How often can you do these?
You have 1 on at all times. So
I see.
If you unequip the weapon, it goes away.
Okay. But you can't have more than 1 on at a time.
It's 1 at a time.
You can only have 1 on.
Realistically, you're always gonna have 1 on.
Okay, so you get super jump. You get your movement speed is a little faster.
There's got to be a cleaner way to write that, and I think it has a lot to do with maybe getting rid of the attack action during a jump, just because you can already move.
Yeah, I don't think you don't need. Yeah, it's a waste of words. Yes, waste of words. Speed is you go 5 feet up, and opportunity attacks have disadvantage. Shield, your AC and Dex go up. Buster, once per turn, you deal a little extra damage, and Smash, the first time you hit a creature with a melee attack each turn, the attack's target must have to make a strength save, or they are moved up to 10 feet in a direction of your choice.
This feels a lot like the Swarmkeeper Ranger, and the Swarmkeeper Ranger is one of my favorite subclasses. That's me being very pleased with this.
It does feel a lot like the Swarmkeeper Ranger, doesn't it? That's interesting.
Yeah, which I really like.
I'm just honestly, I think it's probably fine. I think that there are definitely things here that feel more powerful.
Sure, but I think it's circumstantial, right? Fine. And that's also true in actual Smash.
Yeah. Also the moves are kind of similar to, like, they do feel like they're hitting the buttons of the actual stances too.
I'm gonna be honest. Obviously, 5th level's extra attack super straightforward. So I've gotten up to 5th level at kind of a skim here. Get rid of the Shulk vibes, not the vibes, but like the explicit Shulk references, and rename them in auto arts and stuff. I'd fucking play this.
Do you mean Mondo arts? Why do you keep saying Monado? This is not a type of cookie.
Is that what Monado is? Seriously though, this is good. I like this a lot.
It's good. I like to joke about artificers, me hating them, because what ends up happening a lot of the time is somebody will create a feature like this, but instead of it taking this much space, it'll take a whole page, and it will be 1 giant paragraph. Basically.
Cinder, I scrolled down to the end of this page, and the remaining 3 features are collectively only as long as this one. I'm so happy.
Let's just see what else we get. So we get extra attack. Nice.
Yeah.
And then we get B down, or down B, as you say if you're more
Yeah.
of a professional. Also, it's Dominique. Thank you for becoming a very cool member. That's very kind of you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I appreciate the support. At 9th level, you can visualize the calculus of combat, granting you foresight into your opponent's attacks. When you are hit with an attack while wielding a melee weapon, you can use your reaction to turn the attack into a miss. Say turn the hit into a miss. If the attacking creature is within range, you can then immediately make a single attack against the creature, gaining advantage on the attack roll. You can use this feature a number of times
the
equal to your intelligence
counter.
modifier. It is the counter. I do feel like it's a little strong.
For intelligence modifiers per long rest.
It's too many. It's turning a hit into a miss alone is really fucking strong.
Yeah.
So I think that there's an element of either what I might do is this. I might change it like this. When a creature makes an attack against you and they do not have disadvantage, you can use a reaction, or maybe ignore that for a second, but you can use a reaction to impose disadvantage on the attack, and then if it misses, you can do the reaction.
There we
attack.
go.
Maybe something like that.
I think that's it. And honestly, I think
that sort of plays into the feeling of like you timing the parry too.
Exactly. I was going to say that even better represents the thing, because people bait this reaction out in Smash, and you have to be good at timing it, right? Like, you have vulnerability frames at the end of this that people can capitalize on. Disadvantage is better than just freely turning it into a miss. I think once you do that, though, it's just good.
GeoStellar says, what about you using shield? You know what I think? I think that this feature, if you kept it the same, also doesn't really work with shield. So it's the same problem regardless of the feature. That's what I think. Because if you're getting hit with an attack, that means shielded. You know what I mean? Like it's the same difference. All right.
Right. They're consuming your reaction, so you can't use shield here. You would have had to have used it already. Which,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, I like this. I like Cinder. I like that with the disadvantage into a.
There might even be something in the game that already does that. I feel like I didn't. I'm pretty confident I didn't make
Silvery Barbs, I think, is pretty much that. I
think there literally is a subclass feature or a monster feature that is something like that. I just don't remember what it is.
It's good. I like it, and I think that it's not far off from this, and it even better represents what it's trying to go for.
Yeah. Let's take a look at a chain attack. At 15th level, your companions gain the benefit of your strategic mind. As an action, you can allow yourself and up to 3 creatures you can see to immediately make a single weapon attack. When a creature other than you attacks this way, the attack deals extra damage equal to your intelligence modifier. You can use this feature once per long rest. I don't know how that ties into Shulk, but I think it's a good final move. I think it's cool.
Final smash.
Everybody gets to make one attack. I think that's cool.
Chain attack is his final smash, and it's all of his friends. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, I see.
So he pulls in a bunch of like other characters from the game that are not in Smash to do like a big beat 'em up attack.
Yeah. I think it's solid.
Cool
I think it's
to
cool.
represent that actually.
I also just
like
think it's a cool move. Like I like it.
Yeah.
Like it because it's.
Who was this?
Who was this? This was our dear friend Flareware.
Flair understood the assignment quite good.
Yeah, very nice little Shulk. Also, I was never good with Shulk, but I enjoyed Shulk.
So hard to play. He's so much fun, but he's so hard to play.
Anyway, let's give a little round of applause to Flareware. Yeah, that was pretty good. I mean, let's be real. They've all been great so far. Everybody's glorious. The only person that is I'm a little disappointed with is the person that used the word may, and they're probably more pissed at me for following that rule than I am.
No, they're so mad at themselves. If they're good people, they're so mad at themselves. Because I would be. I'd be so pissed.
Yeah.
You miss the instructions. Always read the instructions twice.
We have not bumped into any of my go-to Smash characters yet.
Yeah. I mean, it's a big pool.
It is a big pool. And I like swimming in the deep end.
Yeah.
You said, yeah, like that was a normal thing to say. Shades the Mothman. What you got for us, Shady? Shady Groves. Lucario. Okay, so Lucario is going to be a hard one. Because Lucario gets stronger the more damage he takes. Which is notoriously. Really shitty in D&D.
It's a monk. It's a monk. It's
So
a monk.
I'm just gonna say right off the top of my back, if you made this so where it's the less life you have, the stronger you get, it's not gonna work that well. That's gonna be my guess.
I don't think they did. I'm glancing at it. I don't think they did.
Monks of the Way of the Soul tuned learn to manifest ki within them outward in the form of destructive and protective energy. There's grammar missing in that sentence. It doesn't work. This practice is empowered by a monk's adrenaline, and so these warriors only become stronger the longer battle rages. Yeah, you're missing grammar in both of these sentences.
Oh, they do. We'll see. It doesn't seem too bad.
No, and listen, this is the wonderful part about these challenges.
Sure.
We don't need to fix it. We can just be like, blah. Awakened Spirit. At 3rd level, your ki grows stronger when your body becomes weaker. When you are below half your maximum hit points, you are awakened. You remain awakened while you have less than half your maximum hit points. While you are awakened, you gain the following benefits. Your unarmed strikes deal additional force damage equal to your wisdom modifier. You gain a bonus to your AC equal to your wisdom modifier. I don't love this feature. I feel like I have a million issues with it, and I've talked about them before. I will express them in 2 ways right now. 1, the problem with this mechanic is that this ability is too easy to trigger at lower levels and too hard to trigger at higher levels. And I think Geostellar brings up a great point that HP management is not fun.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more okay in this circumstance of numbers just go up because of what it's trying. Like, it is doing what it's trying to do. Like, Lucario does get stronger the more damage he takes, but maybe the AC bonus is overkill. And I also think just automatically doing extra damage on all of your hits is probably overkill. I would challenge you to make this gameplay loop smaller. So it's like, if you take damage on a turn, the next turn you deal more damage. Something like that. Keep the gameplay loop the kind of thing where it can exist very quickly, and I think it could actually work pretty well. Although I completely disagree with the AC bonus and completely disagree with all of your attacks doing extra damage.
I mean, I think that it would not be unreasonable for you to say, whenever you take damage before your turn, on your next turn, your first attack gets additional force damage equal to your wisdom modifier.
Yeah, something like that. But this ain't it.
Also, somebody pointed out that it adds wisdom to your AC.
Which we already are fucking doing on a monk.
Already do.
Stop putting a hat on a hat. You just need one hat.
Sometimes not even.
Yeah.
Sometimes the right number of hats is 0.
What about damage on your turn? Nah.
Damage on your turn.
Ki burst. At 3rd level, you can release your own ki in bolts of energy. As an action, you can spend a ki to fire a bolt of energy at a target you can see within 60 feet of you. Make a ranged spell attack against the target using dexterity as your spellcasting modifier. On a hit, it deals force damage equal to 3 rolls of martial arts die, or 4 if you are awakened. That's too much damage. Also, this is such an overcomplication. You know what you could do here? You can cast the spell Firebolt, and it uses your wisdom modifier as a spellcasting modifier.
Yeah.
Just do that. You don't need to build a whole new system
Spend a
here.
key to get a Firebolt. Actually, is Firebolt a cantrip?
Well, Firebolt is a cantrip. You can just do it forever. But also, this is basically just Sun Soul Monk, but better. Also,
a little bit. I don't know that it should be Firebolt. I actually think it should be Scorching Ray.
Scorching Ray?
Yeah.
But that's a 2nd level spell.
I mean,
I wouldn't give them a 2nd level spell at 3rd level.
That's valid. So that's a good balance point. But my thinking is that
But Shades, you're missing the point. Here's the point that you're missing. If you want to have an argument about it, it's not just 1 key point for 3 rolls of your martial arts die of damage. It's 1 key point for 3 rolls of martial arts die force damage at a range of 60 feet.
And then also forever, right? Like, even if does that scale in a way that is good? Honestly, probably enough, right?
Maybe it's okay. Maybe it's okay, but I just feel like it's I do feel like it's overbuilding. I think we could have solved this with a cantrip. Maybe it's okay.
My point of friction is a key point for a cantrip. That feels like not good math.
No, I would just make it a free cantrip.
Okay,
I would just.
cool, done. Sold.
My initial argument was you just completely remove this and say you learn the firebolt cantrip, and it uses your wisdom as your wisdom. Also, this should not use dexterity. It should use wisdom. Anytime monks do anything weird magic, it uses wisdom. Don't break it, you silly goose.
Yep. Agreed.
At 6th level, we get deflect attacks. You can manifest shields of pure ki around you and your allies. If you or a friendly creature within 5 feet of you takes damage from an attack, you can use your action to reduce the damage. Same way, basically missile snare.
Like missiles, yeah.
You can reduce incoming damage to 0 to the creature made the attack within 5 feet of you. This is very similar to things that already exist.
It's identical to Monk's deflect missiles, but for melee attacks instead.
But also, doesn't the Drunken Master Monk basically get this feature?
Don't think so.
Redirect attack.
Do they?
Yeah. It's not exactly the same, but it's really fucking similar. Here's the issue.
Oh, that's when they miss.
Yeah, so the difference is this is triggering off of them hitting and you're reducing the damage. That's triggering off of them missing. But here's the issue. The issue is the first part of the feature isn't really something that feels that new.
Mm-hmm.
And the second part is also something that doesn't really feel that new. I would want one of them to feel I want it to feel more like we're getting something new.
I mean, I will certainly say that this is I've seen this written exactly the same way in probably 3 or 4 other non-Lucario monk subclasses. It's all homebrew, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's such an obvious thing to give a monk. It's such a monk gets monkier type thing to give a monk that it's not making me feel like it's Lucario, right? Not that it's mechanically bad, but it feels like you're pushing monk.
No, mechanically it's fine. It's not unbalanced. I'm just not seeing fiction. I'm not seeing the Lukey in it. All right, let's see. Let's look at key powered leap. At 11th level, you can propel yourself forward with a burst of energy. As a bonus action, you can spend key points to jump and leap in any direction. This movement does not provoke opportunity attacks. When you move 5 feet, when you move within 5 feet of a creature this way, you can deal force damage to that creature, equal to 1 roll of your martial arts die for each key point spent, plus 1 additional roll if you are awakened. This needs to be you simplify this. It shouldn't be a leap. It should be a dash. It should be like a fly straight in a direction. You already get step of the wind, so you're already leaping 60 feet pretty casually, probably a lot of the time. The idea of getting an ability where you can spend key points to dash forward and damage creatures that you move through is going to be something that probably comes up a lot because that's a very Super Smash Brothers move, and that's what that is.
Yep.
It's fine. I think that I think that if I was going to put this in my game, I probably would tweak it in terms of like a couple things, but it's fairly basic, straightforward. Let's take a look at I don't really have thoughts on it. Like it's a dash where you hit things when you run past them.
Yep, which is at least our second one today. So it's okay.
There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
It's just is that a Lucario thing?
Yes.
Okay. Then we get Max Aura. At 17th level, you can use an action to release a beam of destructive energy in a 120-foot line, 10 feet wide. The beam remains for 1 minute until you lose concentration. When a creature enters it for the first time, or is in there, it's basically just Moonbeam then, except force damage. And then you can change the direction of it.
Yeah.
Holy shit. You can't have a 120-foot cone that you can have out for a minute that only costs 3 key points. It's
silly. A line.
Yeah, it's a line, but it's a 120-foot line that's out a whole minute.
Sure.
You can't have that for 3 key points.
That's busted. What is Moonbeam? 5th level?
No, Moonbeam is 2nd level. But this is much stronger than that. But Moonbeam is a 5-foot area, not a 120-foot area. I would probably make it free and just limit its use. I would probably just make it like a once-a-day thing. Maybe you could spend 5 key points or to use it again or something like that.
Yeah, I think it's probably easier just to make it once a day. Moonbeam is obviously a cylinder, so it's
the only thing I was saying to describe
40.
it compared to Moonbeam is when they take the damage. That was it.
When
a creature enters the beam for the first time or starts its turn there. I think you have. I think you captured part of the vibe, but I pretty strongly disagree with the execution.
I
But
think that's
I do feel like you have accomplished the vibe to a certain extent.
the vibe.
But I would encourage you to try to pull away from the kind of shit we see on monks every single review. You know, like, yeah, that's but anybody that watches my stream for a long time, I would strongly encourage you to not, if you start giving something a feature and you're like, I think we've seen this feature before. You have. You've seen it 100 times. Don't worry about it. But very good vibes. I like the shooting a laser beam ion cannon. All right, let's give Shades a round of applause. Thank you for sharing, Shades.
I am going to be honest. You gave yourself a mountain of work here because, and controversial opinion, Lucario is the single most mid Pokemon that has ever become popular.
He's mid?
He's boring.
Oh, I like Grindatron.
Yeah, that one sounds good.
I used to play so much Pokemon.
Shades is mad at me, which is valid.
Oh man, I was poking so many Mon. I was like catching them all. I saw that the nurse with the loops who's done a million houses.
Did you catch them all?
No. In fact, I didn't catch nearly any of them. I caught a couple, I got bored, it wasn't violent enough, and I got tired of it. I played Pokemon for like 3 hours. Collectively,
so crazy to me.
Probably.
I think I've probably spent 2 or 3 collective years of my life playing Pokemon.
Milky, we have not seen a Donkey Kong Barbarian yet. Also, a whole year. Holy shit, that's crazy, dude. You're nuts. No, we haven't seen Donkey Kong yet.
We better, though. Somebody better have done Donkey Kong.
I think I did a little skim last night just to see what kind of
Yeah.
things we're getting for us. I think I saw a Donkey Kong on there, but I don't remember.
Good.
I remembered seeing an inkling because I was like, I don't know what that is, but I know Patrick likes it.
Yeah.
Because you like that ink game, don't you?
I fucking love Splatoon.
Alright.
I fucking S tier, baby.
Well, I'm gonna need your help here because I have no fucking idea what this next one is. I've literally never heard of it before.
All right, what do we got?
Incineroar.
Incineroar. It's another Pokemon. It's one of the furry ones. It's one of the furry ones.
By furry ones, do you mean ones that people want to have sex with, or do you mean that
Yes.
it's covered in fur?
Both.
Oh, God. We got a furry bait. This is what he said.
Ugh.
All right, let's see what it is. Path of Blaze. So this is
Okay.
a barbarian.
Correct.
So what is the
Fine.
vibe of this monster? Tell me quickly, Patrick.
Luchador.
Okay.
Fire
Barbarian.
Luchador.
Okay, I'm in it. I got it. So they're like entertaining, a little bit like mysterious, but also like really fucked up if you think about it for a long time in terms of like animal ethics. Got it. Barbarians. No, not Luchador. That was Matador. Luchadors do other things. Luchadors just hang out.
Luchadors are the wrestlers.
Yeah,
Still-
I was thinking
I was thinking-
Matadors.
I was thinking you were talking about Incineroar, and I was like, yeah, it is fucked up from an animal perspective. You're right.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so he's a fire luchador. When throwing into rage, these barbarians physically burn, channeling, blah, blah, blah. Okay, let's take a look at what we got here. Scorching Revenge. Your body's constant heat has caused you to gain resistance to fire damage. I don't know if I would give up resistance to fire damage all the time at level 3. I'd probably have you have it while you were raging, yeah.
Yeah, subtle point, but maybe worthwhile.
When you enter your rage, you emit a shimmering aura of heat, gaining 1 revenge die. What's the deal with these fucking revenge and rebellion die?
Oh, man. I don't know, man.
Raging at the start of your turn, and while raging at the start of your turn, and anytime you take damage, you gain an additional revenge die. Okay, the first attack you hit while you have a revenge die expends all current revenge die, and those die are added as fire damage.
Oh, that's right. So it's the way that Incineroar works in the game is that every time you get hit, he takes a little bit of chip damage, and like his belt starts to glow, so that when he finally does get a hit off on you, some fraction of all of the damage that you dealt to him is dealt back onto you. That's a thing that you can do.
Okay. How do you feel about this expression of that?
I don't love it from a D&D perspective because, fuck me, that's so much dice. That's so much dice.
How would you do that from a D&D perspective? Would you
somebody just said it's tied to his parry. Valid, fair. Parries aren't a thing in D&D, so I see what they're doing. How would I do this? I genuinely I don't know. right? Like, I don't think this is a bad way to do it. There's not
What
like
if it
an
was? What
obvious
if it was
better
this?
way.
What if it was this? While you're
Sure.
raging, what if while you were raging, you got access to a special reaction that you could do, and it was whenever you took damage, you could use this special reaction, and you could gain a charge. And let's say you could have a number of charges equal to your maximum number of charges you could have would be either your Constitution modifier or your proficiency bonus. And then when you hit a creature with an attack, you can expend any number of those charges to deal a number of D4's fire damage equal to those charges.
I genuinely think that is 99% the same thing as what's on the page right now. The only distinction is A, it's represented as charges and not dice, which I think is helpful for just me thinking, what do I need to have on hand? And B, I think that it's limited in how many you could possibly get, which I actually don't know that I fully agree with. Right? I'm unconvinced that that's.
Oh, it definitely needs to be limited.
Valuable?
It's got to be limited.
I think the idea is that it's limited by how much damage you could take.
Yeah, but
right?
you have to remember, Patrick, that players can attack each other.
Yeah, I mean, but players don't necessarily have a way to reliably do 1 point of damage
unless
the GM says that
melee
they could.
Unarmed attacks. If you don't have a strength modifier, which 99% of characters don't.
That's fair. Okay. No, I accept.
Monk.
So you gotta
if you have if this guy's allied with a monk, they could very easily get 4 charges every round.
Yeah, I think con mod is probably the way to go here. I think con mod capping the charges is probably the way to go. And I honestly don't know that I would do this dice size increase.
No, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it either.
And just leave it alone.
No, yeah, you shouldn't do the die increase. Maybe do the die increase as a one-time thing at level 10 or something. There's going to be, I did a little skimming. There's like, I don't know why so many people do this. Everyone does this thing now. Not everyone, but a lot of people do this thing where you get a feature at 3rd level and then it grows at 6th level, 10th level. But you also get 6th level features that grow, and then you also get 10th level features that grow.
Yeah, right.
There's at least one piece that I looked at when I was looking at it, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to get through reading the first feature if I look at it on stream. I sent you a message about it when I was done reading it. Last night I sent you that message, or this morning, one of the two. But okay, let's take a look at what we get at 6th level. We get Penetrating Heat. Ooh.
Interesting and workable.
How do you feel about the word choice of penetrating?
I feel like that's probably the official move.
Pokemon.
That's probably the official move name, and somebody in the chat said that apparently Incineroar is fighter number 69 in the official Smash roster. It's not subtle.
I would probably call it something like Turgid Penetration. I think you should change its name to Turgid Penetration. And if you don't know what the word turgid means, you should look it up.
Yeah, you should.
It's a very useful word. It's a word that's used a lot in botany, and it's used to describe how a lot of mollusks walk.
Technically correct.
It is. They have to make they pump liquid through their body to make parts of it turgid, and then loosen to contract. That's how I
feel you. You are correct.
Turgid. The general in Doctor Strangelove, the crazy general that wants to bomb everybody, who is supposed to be sort of the personification of dumb masculinity. His name is General Turgidson, because he's just a giant dick.
And now we have explained the joke.
Yeah. Okay, so we get Turgid Penetration. Greater control over flames in your soul. What a horrible way to start your sentence. I love you, but that is not the way to start your sentence. Greater control
That's so funny.
What?
It rhymes and it's got hilarious rhythm.
Greater control over the flames in your soul lets you empower your strikes, causing attacks when you have at least one die to count as magical for the person overcoming resistance. You don't need this. You're not are we a monk? No, you're a barbarian. We don't need this. This is nothing. Only if we're fighting unarmed do we need this. And we're not fighting unarmed.
It's fire damage. It's already magical.
Oh yeah, it's fire damage. Fire damage isn't magical or non-magical. All right.
Why?
And we also get
Unending Fever.
Is it doing anything else? No, I'm just making sure that was doing anything else. Okay.
No, it's not.
Yes, that's just a nothing. You don't need that. Unending Fever. You have grown accustomed to the intense heat that wells up within your combat.
Oh boy.
What a weird sentence. Allowing you to manipulate... Oh my god, it just keeps going. I'm just going to skip it. I'm sorry, dude. This is one sentence, and it's written insane. Let's see what we actually get. You count as one size larger, and you can make strength check related to stuff. You have advantage on that check.
Get it 6th level is nothing, and then also that one racial feature that makes you a size larger.
Yeah, we're not getting... We literally don't get any features at 6th level. We get a feature which doesn't make sense to get.
Doesn't do anything.
We get a feature that is just you're a Furbolg or a Goliath, and then you get a feature that you just have while you're raging all the time anyway. This is just rage.
So that's so funny. Yeah, you got to rethink 6th from the ground up. There's nothing on the page that's not totally redundant.
Yeah, let's look at level 10. Cross Chop. Oh, it's Pokemon. I don't like. I appreciate the theme song, but I can't do words. I'll lose my mind. Okay, we're just listening to Smash Brothers music. Your passion for combat has made you an unstoppable force on the battlefield. When you move at least 20 feet in a straight line towards a creature as an action, you can cross your arms into the creature with great power.
You
should not say
weird.
Why? Do you know what crossing your arms? When everybody in chat, close your eyes right now and imagine someone crossing their arms. Now, what do you think of? I think of this. How do you do this into somebody? I think this, you can't cross your arms into somebody.
So what this is actually trying to emulate, we'll get into whether or not this is happening, but this is, I'm pretty sure this is their, like, no, it's not. I have no idea what this is. What the fuck was this from Smash? Anyway, keep reading.
Well, I think it's when you move at least 20 feet in a straight line towards a creature as an action, you cross your arms and slam into that creature with great power.
Great power.
The creature has to make a saving throw, or they take some damage and they're moved 5 feet, knocked prone. The target of this feature could be no more than one size larger than you. It's not that interesting, dude. It's just a charge.
Mm-hmm.
This is just a running strike.
What move is this supposed to be? I can't remember.
Also, it doesn't say there's no action economy involved. Oh, it's an action. Yeah, so this is just your whole action. Like, I don't know. I feel like running into somebody and using your action to damage and knock them back is very... That doesn't feel like anything. That just feels... Yeah, I mean, maybe it's a move in the... Maybe they say it's up B, so this is up B.
Yeah, there's no universe in which... I appreciate you explaining. There's no universe in which I ever would have gotten there, because the up B in Smash, if I'm recalling correctly, moves you, like, in a D&D type way, 30 feet straight up, and then bombs you down. It's a dive bomb.
Yeah, so we're missing a pretty big part of it. But I also, yeah, and I don't know. Even if this was like the move in the game, it's one of those things where it doesn't feel like a move in D&D. This just feels like you know what I mean? Like the run forward to hit and somebody moves back a little bit is like it's in everything, you know?
Also, it's a lot of stuff. I mean, the damage is a little different, and you can use your revenge die and so forth. But there's a lot of stuff here that's like, I could just get this as a racial feature. Right, maybe not perfectly the same, but very similar. There are like 4 playable races that give me this kind of
I'm wondering if this person, and maybe some of the other people, like maybe with Lucario too, maybe people were struggling to figure out what mechanics to give them.
Yeah.
Like maybe there just wasn't enough in there, and they were just like, this is a move they get, so I'm just going to make it a feature. But there wasn't like enough behind that, so they just sort of made it a thing.
Totally possible, and I'm going to be honest, a lot of Smash fighters are going to be like that. Jigglypuff, we even saw a little bit of like, where were the like pound mechanics and stuff, and it's like, that's just kind of an unarmed strike, right? Like, a lot of what Incineroar does is punch you, which is maybe not the most relevant thing for a barbarian. So, I get it. I think that what probably could have been a good place to dip is like, what's going to make this feel more like a wrestler? Because that's what Lucario is ultimately trying to grab at, right?
Yeah. I don't know. You know what they say?
No, I've never heard anyone say anything.
We're going to Smash Brothers Melee.
All right, cool.
Okay. And then we get another feature at 10th level. I don't like getting too many features that it's not a good, I mean, it's okay that you get 2 features at 6th level because neither of those features literally do anything. So it's nothing. So you have space there, but you shouldn't give 2 features at one level, then 2 features at another. You get Hardened Masochist. As a reaction while you are raging, when you or a creature within 5 feet of you is targeted with an attack, reorganize the way you're saying this information. You can use the attack to you can cause the attack to automatically hit you. All damage received by this attack, except psychic damage, is halved, and you gain 2 revenge die. There's so many things here that are kind of just already things we're doing. Like, we are a barbarian. We shouldn't have any features that have to do with halving damage on anything. Unless they're going to be tied to our rage mechanic. It's just, it literally doesn't make sense.
Yep.
Yep. And then at 4, like, I don't really have anything to say about it. This is another feature that's just not a feature. It's the same as 6th level. And then at 14th level, we get Darkest Lariat. As an action, while you are raging, you lash out in a burning frenzy at everything around you. All creatures in 10 feet have to make a saving throw or take some amount of damage, and you get some dice. They take very little damage. I guess you can do this infinitely. No, you can't. Nope. You can do this very well. Yeah, this is very weak. This is very weak. Yeah. This is doing 2d10 damage, and that's it. So it's pretty weak. Oh, you gain 1 revenge die for every creature that fails the save. Okay. Well, you missed the beginning of the review, but we all pretty not consensually. Holy shit, you got me in a dirty mind. We all pretty collectively agreed that the revenge dice mechanic just kind of doesn't work. And you got to simplify it and make it less. And if you do that, this won't work anymore either. So, overall, dude, maybe. You know what's interesting? I didn't expect this to be the reoccurring challenge, but there have been several pieces we've looked at that really feel like the people really fucking struggled to fill a subclass with features. I'm gonna be honest. This feels like they really struggled to fill a subclass with features.
I'm looking at Incineroar and neutral attack, punch, forward tilt, punch, up tilt, punch, down tilt.
But maybe the problem is maybe they picked shitty ingredients to start with.
There are going to be a lot of characters in Smash that just don't have a lot going on.
But why would you try to make one of them into a subclass?
I will say that you probably, if you're going to take Incineroar and make it into a subclass, you really do have to swallow the pill of, like, I'm building a wrestler first and foremost, because there's a lot of stuff like the Tiger Bridge backdrop, right? His back throw is a German suplex, right? He's got like a choke slam. There's some stuff that you could do to make him really feel like a wrestler. Movement options with Darkest Lariat and so forth.
Yeah,
but you gotta be willing to sell that fiction.
Well, also, I look what Name said. I think is right. What Name said, they ended up going with vibe more than direct moveset, and I think realistically, if you want to accomplish a character like this, where literally their whole moveset is punching at different angles, you have to do vibe because it ends up feeling like this is a barbarian that,
you know what,
gets an interesting revenge mechanic and then kind of nothing else.
Truly, credit where it's due. Incineroar's vibe is, why is this so horny? And I got that from this subclass.
Right, there you go. All right, listen. I didn't say it was bad. I was just saying I think that
I just want to call that out as, like, we gotta, when the writing sells the fiction better than almost anything else on the page, we gotta call that out because that happens so rarely.
Yeah. Well, Tradosio said for the Overwatch, it was also hard to fill the subclasses. Yeah, I think you have to start thinking a little out of the box there. So, like, for example, I don't know this character, but I do think that you need to start thinking about, like, more than just their moveset, like, what's their playstyle? Like, are they a character that's a slow-moving character? How can I represent that in strength? Are they really quick and nimble? Are they like Fox? Like, is they more of a Ganondorf or more of a Fox? You know? That's going to have a really big... Even if you take the whole moveset out, there's a very big difference between the way those characters feel.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think that's right.
Alrighty. Thank you, Sidian, for sharing.
Somebody said Incineroar is a grappler. And, like, yeah, he is. 90% of his attacks grapple in some capacity. And that probably could have been something to lean on.
But just because 90% of the basic moves are punches and kicks, that doesn't mean you can't make it a thing. Like,
sure. Well, we were going off of what you said, right?
Yeah,
like,
I'm
talking like, what's the vibe? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
I was reading Name's comment.
Chat. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, you can find it. It's in there. It's always in there.
Why are people getting put on the list twice?
GeoSteller says monks are all punches and kicks, and frankly, true.
So are unarmed fighting style fighters.
Yeah.
So are beast barbarians. There's lots of people that are just punches and kicks, and they all feel pretty different. You paid off the wheel to double your chances? Oh. I didn't know.
Well, I guess he's not getting double chances then, huh, boys?
Name is up next.
All right, Name. Name, let's fucking go.
We Fit Trainer.
Yeah! Fuck yeah. All right,
Let's go.
I'm excited.
Let's go. Let's get weird with it.
I'm excited. This is going to be so good. The Wii Fit Trainer is so silly.
Wii Fit Trainer was one of those characters that I never played, and I had one friend who was really good with them, and it was so annoying.
Yep. Is this is this a monk? Way of fitness. Yes.
Yeah, your body is a temple, your ocean is a clementine.
Right.
Live, laugh, love.
That's the vibe.
Assisted stretch. At 3rd level, we get assisted stretch.
Yeah. Acrobatics, fine.
Oh, yeah, when you shoot, you get acrobatics. When you attempt to grapple creature, you can use acrobatics instead of strength. This is fine. This is something that is also just going to be in 1 D&D. This is just a monk change that all monks are going to get.
Truly not relevant here, but good to know.
Yeah. Dude, 1 D&D is doing a lot of favors for monks and for barbarians.
Surprised.
Barbarians are getting things where they can essentially do battlefield control by hitting people, which is cool. In addition, you have advantage on all attack rolls against creatures that are grappled. That's all we get at 3rd level, huh?
I don't think that's awful.
You don't think that's awful? I don't think it's awful either, but I also feel like it's kind of bland.
It's not maybe the most flavorful, but Wii Fit Trainer is not the most flavorful neutral white non-person character.
No, but you could do weird stuff with them. That's a feat. It is also kind of a feat, but it's not exactly a feat. You don't get advantage on grappled attack. Is that a part of the grappler feat?
I don't think so.
I would also the reason why I was gonna say is I don't feel like Wii Fit
grapple. Wii Fit
does.
This is straight up the grab for Wii Fit.
But I felt like Wii Fit does a lot of they hit you with yoga moves.
The core for high level Wii Fit play is grapple neutral. As much damage as you can stack. Because their neutral is real quick in a grapple.
Yeah. All right.
Grappler feat apparently does give you advantage.
Yeah. So
okay. From a D&D design, from a Wii Fit Trainer perspective, I think it's fine. From a D&D design perspective, maybe don't just give a feat as your 3rd level feature.
Yeah. Let's look at 6. At 6th level, you can spend 1 key point and half your movement to take the dodge action.
Yeah, I get that you could dodge in as the Wii Fit Trainer, but that's nothing. That feels like nothing.
That's not a move. That's nothing.
That's very much
That's
nothing.
less than nothing.
Yeah. Yep.
It's too big of a sacrifice for something so nothing. Wait a minute, can't monks already basically do that?
No. Patient defense. Wait.
Patient defense.
It's not half your movement though. It's a bonus action. So this frees up bonus action.
I still don't like it. It's still not giving us anything new.
For everybody saying no action economy, it's half your movement.
Yeah, no.
The action economy.
The action economy is half your movement and on your turn. The on your turn is very important there. Because action economy is not just about what resource it takes, but it's when it happens too.
When in the order, yeah. We're quibbling though. This is nothing. This is not worth giving.
Yeah, no, it doesn't feel like a feature. I think my main feedback is going to be what somebody else said. Is aside from getting acrobatics, where's the yoga? Where's the yoga?
Also, there's so much, right? Like, guided meditation as the 17th level feature does not feel right.
But
guided meditation.
I'm not even there yet.
Yeah,
I'm
we'll
jumping
get
ahead.
there, but I'm pretty sure Guided Meditation is like one of the core moves for Wii Fit.
Gentle Encouragement at 11th level. When making an attack, you can spend 4 key points. That's pricey at 11th level.
Yeah.
To give a creature that can hear you within 30 feet a bonus to their next attack roll or saving throw equal to your martial arts die. In addition, you can add double your proficiency bonus acrobatics check. That's interesting. I like that.
It's kind of a little bard out of absolutely nowhere.
I would not make it cost key points. I would just limit its use.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I'm trying to... What the... Sun Salutation. That's what it is. Is Guided Meditation Sun Salutation?
Let's see. At 17th level, as an action, you can spend 6 key points to engage in Guided Meditation. Till the start of your next turn, you exude an aura of tranquility, causing the following effects. Your movement speed is 0. All hostile creatures within 30 feet of you have disadvantage on attack rolls against creatures other than you. All friendly creatures within 30 feet deal an extra 1d10 radiant damage on all weapon attacks. I think this needs to be limited in use too, separate from key points probably. I think this is the most interesting feature. I kind of wish that we got more features that felt more interesting earlier.
Honestly, I mean, this is
another one where it
like,
doesn't feel like if you didn't tell me that this was a Wii Fit yoga person, I would never make that assumption. Like if I looked at these features, I would just my feedback if I looked at these features and I didn't know it was the Wii Fit, my feedback would be like, you're just making a monk. This doesn't feel like a subclass.
Yeah, I think that's right. Guided Meditation is okay, but Guided Meditation should probably A, do a little less, B, be maybe the 6th level feature. Because it is, again, that Sun Salutation is a core part of this thing's loop, right? But there's so much to Wii Fit Trainer. There's hula hoops.
I was gonna say, don't they have? Yeah, they have items.
Balls.
They have items. Like they hit people. They hit the fucking volleyball.
There's also a whole minigame mechanic for deep breathing, where if you like time the thing correctly, you regenerate health. You could have built that in at 3rd level. Maybe something like. If you always use all of, every turn that you use all of your movement before you take your action, you gain some number of temporary hit points, right? Like there's ways that you could have built routine in that is like part of the fitness, the Wii Fit Trainer's like vibe.
Yeah. Maybe I didn't. Maybe. Okay. I'm gonna. Yeah. I think maybe I need to be more clear about this in the future. But I do think that the goal when people are designing these things should not just be. This character punches, so I shall make it punch. It should be like, okay, if I'm going to be the Wii Fit Trainer, I need to look at the Wii Fit Trainer's moves and vibes and see if I can figure out cool and unique things that do all of those things. As opposed to just being like, Wii Fit Trainer does punching, kicking, so I'm going to make it punching, kicking. Like, the challenge is to find the subclass in the thing, not to force it, you know?
Yeah,
maybe I didn't make that. Maybe I didn't make that clear enough.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll see. Anyway, thank you very much for sharing, Name. Let's give Name a round of applause. I don't think motivation shined through enough, and I also don't really think I also don't really think fitness shined through, because the way that fitness was represented was acrobatics and grappling. I don't know if that feels like that. Is that fitness? I don't know. Who's to say? That's between me and God. And I'm not here to talk to God. You hope yours is fine? They're all fine, GeoStellar. None of them are wrong. It was fun to make. That's the point. That's the real point. That's the actual only point.
The friends we made.
Name, if you had fun making it, you have accomplished the goal with high marks.
Top marks.
Spag. Vlorin, can I make a confession? I read part of yours last night because you made Ike, and I was curious to see it. If we don't get to look at yours, I'm going to give you feedback right now. Holy shit, was it shockingly overcomplicated. That being said, the 3rd level features you made for that Ike, they all do eventually accomplish the goal of things that feel a lot like moves from Smash, but it felt completely unplayable, both in terms of the way it was explained and like the way it was going through. So I felt like you did a good job of aiming at the vibe. It wasn't even dude. It's not even that it was very front loaded. It's the way that it's front loaded was ridiculously complicated to express the ideas. We'll if you want, we can talk about when we get there. But I'm telling you right now, the main feedback for that one is going to be you got to literally cut out, and I am not overestimating. This is not an exaggeration. You need to literally cut out between 40 and 60% of the words in that first feature immediately for that to be usable. And you can, because all the things that you're doing are simple there. Okay, enough. Spag. Spag brings us Samus. Samus, I think, is an interesting one to try to make. Samus has a bunch of sort of... Oops, I hit the wrong button.
Yeah. Somebody also said, how do you make Ike? He's just a fighter. I think that's such a great question within the context of what we've been talking about, which is like, what does it feel to play Ike?
I mean, listen, we can see Ike's. Basically, we'll see when we get there. I think they did a good job of capturing the vibe. I think they did a bad job of making it balanced or easily usable. Okay, this is... Oh my god, look, they have the moves! They actually have the moves on the sheet.
From the fucking inserts from fucking... Oh, that's so good that the GameCube ones too. Holy shit.
That's very good. That's very good. That's very good.
Can we give extra credit? Can we give extra credit? Is this Brewmaster? Can we give like extra points here, please? I want to give them a bonus point.
Sure, yeah, they'll get 2 bonus points.
Amazing.
This is the Chozo warrior, and it's inspired by Samus. You learn the Thorn... It's a ranger, by the way. You learn the Thorn Whip cantrip, and then when you cast it, it manifests a lasso of lightning. Wait a minute. I don't want to be a dick, but why aren't we just getting the cantrip Lightning Lore?
Ooh, interesting.
There literally is a cantrip that is Thorn Whip, but lightning.
Is it the same? Is it the same? So
I don't know if it's exactly
this range.
30 feet. 30 feet
Lightning
pulls you 10 feet.
Lightning Lore is 15.
I think that's even more accurate for Samus because her fucking thing doesn't shoot 30 feet.
Just Thorn Whip, but worse. Is it because it does lightning damage?
I don't know. It's an attack instead of a save. Oh, that's it. Thorn Whip is an attack instead of a save. Maybe there's something like that. And then we get some spells. Chromatic Orb, Rhymes, Binding Ice, Fireball, Staggering Smite, Conjure Volley. Cool. These all make sense. These are the moves.
Great.
Also,
so
I
good.
do like that we're just seeing what the moves are here. That's very funny. Conjure Volley as a way to represent Samus' Super Smash is very clever also. I think that's a good use.
It really is. Rhymes Binding Ice? Yeah, okay. I could see it.
Power Suit. This is a long feature. Oh, boy.
Yeah, all right. We're strapping in.
Spag, I really hope you used good sentences, otherwise I'm not going to be able to read this whole thing. Whether through inheritance, innovation, or chance, you have come upon an ancient Chozo technology, a power suit. Over the course of a short, long rest, you can turn a suit of armor with which you're proficient to a power suit. Oh my god, this is just a lot of tedious. Where does it get to what it does? Once formed, it's bound to you. Nobody can take it off, blah, 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 blah. What does it do? There we go.
Cannon. The right arm transforms into a large cannon, enveloping your hand and forearm. This cannon counts as a martial ranged weapon with a normal range of 90 feet and a long range of 300 feet, and it deals 1d8 radiant damage on a hit.
Okay. Does it, what does it use for its attack roll? Dex?
It's ranged, so probably. Ranged weapons usually
Now, the question that I would ask is, the way that I read this, it would not add your dexterity modifier to this attack roll, to this damage.
I agree. I
don't know if that's intentional or not, but that is how it reads.
I also want to look up Ranger because what proficiencies do they get? Because this could be either martial or simple, and I personally
they get martial weapons.
Don't like that. Yeah, why would you treat it as a simple weapon? That's nothing.
Yeah, just make it.
Oh, it deals force damage as a simple weapon. I guess you're trying to do the two different types
But Spag,
of
the lightning blasts. Do the lightning blasts from the armor do extra damage or no?
The lightning blast from the armor?
Yeah, he said he copied the armorer.
Interesting.
Check. Oh yeah, I guess it does. I have to look that up. I'm not sure. Doesn't matter. Okay, we get a simple basic attack. And then we can also get a charged shot. Wait, what else does it do? You can treat the cannon as a simple weapon that deals... It shouldn't deal force damage on a melee. That doesn't make sense to me.
That's like I said, I think they're trying to represent the two different uses. You can do either the ball, which is the radiant damage, or the missile, which I think they're representing as force damage, which I think you probably just drop. That feels a little lost in the sauce to me.
I agree. As a bonus action, you can empower your arm cannon the next time you make an attack before the end of your next turn. It is empowered one of the following ways, and it's either a flaring smash or a charged shot. The projectile you fire grows significantly. On a hit, each creature within 5 feet has to make a dex saving throw against your spell save. The creature takes radiant damage equal to your... okay, so it turns into a little explosion.
Kind of a little ice knifey type thing, which is nice. That's cool.
This is way too much damage. They should not take damage equal to your ranger level. To give you some context, the Horizon Walker gets a bonus action where they get to do a bonus action and then they do 1d8 extra damage. So this is make it and don't do that. Realistically, it shouldn't do. Realistically, I'd probably make the AOE of this something like your Dex modifier.
I think that's exactly right, because I just looked up Ice Knife. I think this is probably in that space. Ice Knife is 2d6, an average of 7. So I think your Dex modifier, 4 or 5, seems right to me.
Yeah, and then we also get Flaring Smash. The cannon's barrel fires, on a hit.
You can also use the cannon as a simple melee weapon. I'm so stupid.
Yeah.
You can punch people with it.
Yeah.
That's bludgeoning damage. There's no reason.
Yeah, that's why it shouldn't be force damage. It doesn't make any fucking sense. You're hitting them with it with a club. It's a big piece of metal.
It's also just an improvised weapon, right? Like, improvised weapons already do 1d6.
Yeah, well, this is not an improvised. It's like a special because it's part of your suit.
I know, but that's...
And then the other one is it hits, and on a hit, each creature in 5 feet has to make a saving throw or be pushed back. It's again, you're hitting too big. One creature, not every creature. Like if you copied the armorer, you got to tone it in a little bit.
So this is each creature within 5 feet of the target. So it's a little 10-foot burst out from the target.
Yeah, that's still a lot. That's still a lot. That's still a lot. I mean, to just be able to do that every round at no cost.
Yeah, well, it's bonus action.
That's not a cost. Every ranger has a bonus action thing they have to do as a cost. Like I was saying, literally the Horizon Walker gets bonus action, extra D8 damage. That's it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think both of these are too strong. I think you got to lower the damage of charge shot a shit ton, make it D4, make it dexterity modifier or whatever, and I would make this affect the creature you hit maybe and nothing else. I would make this affect one creature, not many creatures.
I could see that. Still, though, the low-level feedback here is I think indicative of the fact that you're capturing the vibe pretty well.
Oh, the vibe is amazing. The vibe is amazing. The vibe is great. You're just being completely unrealistic about power balance. But the vibe is excellent.
Aren't we all?
It doesn't matter if it's a bonus action to charge up, then it does nothing if the attack misses. That is literally how all of them... That's how the Horizon Walker works, too. That's how they all work. That's what I'm saying. The bonus action to attempt to get something better is what is expected.
Yeah, yes, correct.
When a creature moves to a space within 15 feet of you, you can use your reaction to fire a series of small concussive flares from your arm cannon.
Okay.
Creature must make a strength saving throw against your spell save DC. On a failure, the target can move no closer to you until the start of their next turn. Interesting. So it's like a weird, less. It's not a restrain or a grapple or a fear. It's like a little aura of can't get into them. I think that's interesting.
Yeah. That's cool. I like that.
I don't think this should be infinite in use, but I like it a lot.
Yeah, that's true, because that is a lot for your reaction.
Yeah, it's quite powerful. But I like it. I think it feels cool. I also think it's very unique. Like I haven't seen a feature like that before. I also think it sort of sits nicely between a couple different like movement control features, but it's got to be limited in use. Wisdom modifier times per day, probably. Maybe proficiency bonus times per day.
Yep.
Something like that.
I'd say probably prof bonus is fine.
Normally at 11th level, rangers get something buck wild. Also, for people that are watching at home that are like, that's where the Horizon Walker gets their anime teleport. That's where the Fey Wanderer gets the thing where they can summon a creature without concentrating. It's
Greg
where
Gordon gets flying mount.
Yeah. I think maybe the Gloomstalker gets something boring, but it's good. I think it's like you can roll a d6 and then you just like don't get hit by an attack or something like that.
Yeah. I think that's right.
The formatting of this person remind me this is the formatting of Spag used was the website Homebrewery, which is a free to use website, and you can make stuff look cool. I have no idea how we got stuff like the numbers in here. That's beyond my skills.
Where did these button images come from? Because they're so good.
Yeah, they're very good. Missiles. Your arm cannon now stores a number of missiles equal to your proficiency bonus. When you would make a ranged attack with your arm cannon, you can instead fire a missile. If you have empowered your arm cannon before firing, the missile is upgraded into a super missile instead of becoming a charged shot. The missiles have the following properties. How many times can you use this?
Prof bonus.
Okay.
Per long rest.
So the missile deals 1d10 force damage as opposed to whatever it was dealing before, which is not a crazy amount more. But you get +5 to the attack roll. That's huge. That's very good. Yeah. That's also I don't like being... That's a very high bonus to get access to a lot. The only things that get this high an attack roll bonus are associated with features like Channel Divinity, and it's because it's so fucking strong to get, because it makes it so easy to cheese something like Sharpshooter, especially with the archery stuff already. So I probably would not make this. I would probably maybe make it do more damage or something, but the extra attack feels too high for me able to do it proficiency bonus times per day.
I think that the thing to limit here is not the +5 to hit, it's the number of times you can do it a day. I think that you could put prof bonus on the 7th level feature, and this should probably be either half prof or, if you're feeling very generous, wisdom mod.
Okay, that could make sense, yeah.
Yeah, but I think limiting that...
Or just once per short rest. Once per short rest is not unreasonable. Getting maybe. Dude, if there's a Channel Divinity that's once per day that gives you +10, a feature that gives you +5 short rest per day is totally balanced.
Pretty much exactly correct, yeah.
Yeah. Why are the missiles not just altered magic missiles?
They don't auto-hit in the game, so I don't necessarily think they should or need to auto-hit here.
Yeah, and then you could also, if you use your bonus action, you can make a super missile, which is 2d10 force damage.
Cool.
And they make a con save, and they're dazed.
That's fun. Is dazed a thing in
Dazed
5e?
is a condition that was made up by the dungeon dudes. I don't remember exactly what it does, but I've seen it pop up a bunch before.
It's in Baldur's Gate, too.
Yeah, but Baldur's Gate uses all sorts of stuff that isn't it D&D?
100%.
On its next turn, it has to choose whether or not it takes an action, bonus action, or its move, and it only gets one. Okay, both of these, again, dude, Spag, really cool ideas, completely overshooting power balance.
Yeah, to go from a missile to a super missile on just a free bonus action, like just the bonus action you were going to use for this anyway, is a lot.
Yeah. And then you get Screw Attack. Hey, this would have been great with that fucking furry Pokemon, right? As a bonus action, you can cause your power suit to discharge energy for 1 minute, making it hazardous to touch. Any creature that hits you with a melee attack, touches you, or starts their turn grappling you, takes some lightning damage. Additionally, I like this as like a limited use thing. That's the thing that monsters get a lot of time. Players very rarely get stuff like that. It's fun. Additionally, when you activate this feature as a bonus action, while it's active, you can grant yourself a flying speed equal to your walking speed until the start of your next turn. You can use this bonus action immediately before falling. Wait a minute. Okay. And then it's short rest. It's too powerful to be short rest. Yeah, everything's Spag. You just need to crank it down a little bit, dude, to make any of this usable. But it's I like it.
It's cool.
This feels a little bit bloated. I feel like the fly speed doesn't fit. It also feels weird to get a feature that is on for a minute, but then it comes with a feature that's on for a round. So I might I think I might re-examine the way that I interpret that.
And- to be fair, it's because the screw attack is doing a lot in Smash and is like both your recovery option and also a fairly solid like multi-hitbox damage option. You probably don't want to bring all of that forward.
Or you need to figure out a different way to express it than this.
Yep.
Those are my thoughts. I think it's pretty good. I'm a little bit bummed that there's no bomb.
Yeah, the down B. Yeah, that could be good. That could be good. I would honestly maybe see if you could work down B into the spell list. You have a lot of B representation. Charge Shot, Chromatic Orb, Rhymes Binding Ice, Fireball are all your neutral B.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. All right, cool. Thank you very much for sharing, Spag. Yeah, very flavorful. Very
fun. On the
fun.
other end, right? Like, we were like, what if all of these characters just punch people? And then we were like, you have forgotten the original Samus Aran. And then every feature did 9 things.
Yeah, it was a little too much, but very, very fun. Very, very fun.
Yeah, it was good. It was very good.
Gadoosh, gadoosh. Gadoosh, gadoosh. Next up, we have... Well, I don't know yet. We have to spin it first. Also, guys, just so you know, we are going to be doing this till about 9:30. I don't know if Pat's going to stay till 9:30. But at 9:30, we're all going to transition over and going to watch the premiere of my new little YouTube video. Should be quite exciting.
Yeah.
I think it came out pretty good, Pat. I ended up doing less, adding less than I thought I was going to. Because oh shit, the most recent person just got picked, or one of the more recent ones.
Easy.
But yeah, literally the person that just sent their thing in. This is Falco. Captain Falco.
No, okay.
What, you don't like Captain Falco? Captain Falco. Falco punch.
Falco punch seems right. Seems fine. Correct.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah. I guess that's where we live now.
An hour. For folks that aren't in the same time zone as me, in an hour, roughly an hour from now, the stream will be ending, but we are all going to be going over to the premiere of my new little video.
Fucking God. This is a monk with wave dash. Oh my fucking God.
Listen,
can we bully the melee nerd?
Yeah, you can. Bully them. I don't even know what that means, but let's see what's going on here. Hey, Fox, look out! And then it's like, hey, there's that little frog. I'm the guy that's not exactly annoying, but I'm also annoying sometimes, but less so than the fucking little frog. That's Falco. That's my memory of Falco is I didn't like the frog, I liked Falco.
Slightly more, sure.
Yeah.
Skydiver Monkey is actually, Way of the Skydiver is actually a really good name. I like that a lot.
Oh, I didn't even see the name. Yeah, Way of the Skydiver is a good name.
Yeah.
At 3rd level, we get Modern Mercenary. You've trained with firearms for close quarter encounters. You gain proficiency with one-handed firearms and can utilize them as monk weapons, but their range is limited to 50, even if it's stated as greater.
Nope.
Here's what I would do.
None of that is anything. Tasha's makes all of that nothing.
Yeah, I would probably do something sort of similar to what the Lucario, Lucario did, where you had like a weird basic ranged attack that you could just do to represent the little gun.
I think that's probably right. Correct me if I'm wrong.
You could also just be a Sun Soul monk.
Yeah, 100%. Correct me if I'm wrong, but does Tasha's not have... I believe Tasha's has a variant feature for monks that says that you can just pick one weapon and make it a monk weapon. Yep. Must be simple or martial. Firearms.
So it must be a weapon. It must be simple or martial. What the fuck does that mean, D&D?
Yeah.
There's 2 types of weapons. There's simple and martial. What else would there be?
Yeah.
God damn it. Do you know what I fucking hate? I hate when I spend so much time being
Sure.
so aggressive with my lovely audience who like is incredibly gracious and kind to me because I want them to get better at writing. And then D&D does some fucking redundant, stupid shit. And it's like, bitch, you're supposed to...
They're not that good at this.
No, I know they're not as good at this, but it's frustrating because they are the foundation. So it's like, you can't even use D&D as an example for D&D sometimes. You have to, like, find the D&D to use to be an example of D&D. So fucking stupid. It actually makes me mad.
No, I mean, I feel you. Tradosio said that firearms are not simple or martial weapons. I'm trying to confirm that.
Also, wait a second.
But...
Everybody, do a barrel roll.
Do a barrel roll.
Thank you for the 2, John Cashman.
So
I don't know why I made the announcement to go off, but I didn't want you to feel like I missed it. Yeah. So I did. Here, guys. Let's all do another barrel roll for John. And now let's do a backwards one for Cashman. It looks cooler on my screen than it does on yours because I can see like these weird little things on the sides that show like the measurements. So it looks like I have big wings when I do that, but I don't. I'll to you guys. Life's so hard. Okay. But regardless,
they are martial weapons. They're martial ranged weapons.
Yeah. They're martial ranged weapons.
Yeah. Yep.
They're just optional martial ranged weapons.
Yes. So giving you the firearm proficiency is nothing because if your GM has firearms in the game, they're almost certainly going to give them to you.
It's okay, dude. We're all
worse,
wrong sometimes. I'm wrong. Yeah. I'm wrong at least once a day. I try to make a habit out of
it. You got to practice.
We also get burning wings as a bonus action. You could. Oh, here we go.
Do a barrel roll.
There we go. Here we go. Do it again for you. I got you, buddy. I'll barrel roll till the cows come home. As a bonus action, you can spend a key point to light your soul aflame.
A flame.
Guys, there's gonna be some weird sex happening between these characters. Everybody's so sensual tonight. Burning foes, guys. There's children out there. Burning foes in a 5 radius centered on you. Oh, that is not a sentence. Don't make that a sentence. Okay, you'll fix that later. The damage is fire damage. Okay. Let me actually, you wrote this in the weirdest fucking way. Let me see if I can understand.
Yeah, right.
So as the bonus action, you spend a key point, creating a blast of fire around you in a 5-foot radius. Everybody in the area has to make a saving throw or something. You didn't say that, but they do need to make a saving throw or something. And then they take fire damage equal to a roll of your martial arts die plus your wisdom modifier.
I don't understand this next sentence literally at all.
Okay, I'm going to tell you what I think the goal is here.
Uh-huh.
I think the goal is you spend a key point and you erupt in a little aura of fire. And then, until the end of your turn...
Not your next turn, your current
No, until the end of your turn, if you move within 5 feet of any creatures, or any creatures are within 5 feet of you, they take some damage. I think that's the goal. So the goal, I think, is
if you move in any direction, it ends.
Oh, so then I guess I missed that. So I guess no. So it's just, it's a little aura of fire.
Tradosio just rewrote this in the absolute correct way. When you use Step of the Wind, any creature that passes within 5 feet of you must make a save. On a failure, they take an amount of fire damage equal to your wisdom modifier.
Yeah, you could also just do the spell Ashardalon Stride, which is that also. Which is a spell.
I mean, I think I like the idea of tying it into Step of the Wind, just because I like giving monks a little bit of juice to their core loop.
Yeah,
early.
no, I take it back actually, because there is a power to making it not a spell in that.
Exactly.
It gets around magical stuff. Like it's not concentration. Okay, I take it back.
I think attach it to Step of the Wind, and it would be really, really good. I think the damage is probably fine.
Now I'm gonna be dumb here for a second.
Yeah.
What is Falco's move that is this? Is this his B up?
Up B. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't remember if his B up was the same as Fox's, but I guess it
is. Which is why if you move in any direction that's not a vertical jump. But vertical jumping in 5e is everybody's got like a 3-foot vertical jump max.
Yeah.
That's nothing.
So
That's absolutely not.
So here's the way you do that, I think, if you did want to do that. Although I would not make that
I just make it Step of the Wind, because it's as much of an offensive thing as it is a recovery move.
Yeah, well, what I was going to say is if you were willing to push it to a higher level...
Yeah, sure.
I could see a situation where you activate it, and then you burn everything around you, and then you launch like a rocket 30 feet in a direction.
Yeah.
And then do some damage over there, too.
I mean,
I can see
again,
that working also.
Could be very cool, but I like the idea of giving it to you at that third. I like the idea of it being Step of the Wind. I think that makes it a better monk.
Yeah.
If a little bit less of a good interpretation.
Yeah. Is that the selling point of Falco? That's the question that I'm asking is like, I like it. Is that the selling point of Falco? Is that, I'm gonna be honest.
First of all, this is very clearly based off melee Falco because of the wave dash.
Yeah.
So we gotta make sure
that the main thing that Falco does that's different than Fox is he goes up a little bit when you do be over, as opposed to straight across.
Or
maybe he doesn't know.
There's
Wolf goes up a little bit. No, Wolf goes up a little bit.
There's no difference between. There might be some like weight differences and stuff, but there's no real moveset difference between Falco and Fox that would be represented in 5e.
I think they both. I don't think either of them get to skip the queue.
Maybe not.
Do you because you said there's a weight difference.
Wait, yeah, okay, there we go.
So I don't think any of them get to skip the queue because of there being a difference in the weight, because they have to weight differently. Cassie the Lion. First of all, good name, but also thank you for the membership. Very cool.
Yo.
Okay.
Yeah, speed and damage of their side B is the only difference, which we're not going to see represented here. So yeah, it's just I
just didn't know. I'm not an expert. Okay. I was really banking on chat to be the experts, or you if you were gonna want to be on stream. I did play a lot of Smash, but just very specific characters. Which haven't come up yet, but maybe they will. Okay, 6th level, we get Shockback. You utilize Reflective Artifice. Okay, this is B-down. To reject incoming attacks. When using Deflect Missiles, you can spend additional key point to include ranged spell attacks, as well as ranged weapon attacks as the target of Deflect Missiles. That's pretty cool. I like that. There might need to be some limitations on the spells. Like, I feel like, for example, it would probably... Well, it's only spells with attack rolls. I might make it single target spells, but I actually don't know if there are any non-single target spells that use attack rolls. Like Scorching Ray, but
that's
even then, that would just be the ones that hit you, so it's probably fine. I think it works. I think it works.
I think it just works.
I also think using interpreting like items / energy projectiles as magic, I think is good. I think it makes sense.
Great. Yeah, that's really cool. I like that a lot.
I think it makes a lot of sense. Wave dash.
It's also fun because you can get like some magic items may fall under that as well, right? Which is cool. They don't all by default, but it does pick up a few of them.
Okay, this one I think is too strong. You can spend 2 key points to move 50 feet and hit everybody in that line with essentially the same power as a fireball, as a lightning bolt. Yep. That's too much damage.
You know what's really funny, Cinder? You know what's really funny? Wave dashing is a glitch in Melee that's so busted that only Falco and Fox are playable at high levels.
That sounds fun.
Like the reasons why that ends up not being the case are when tournaments say like no doubles, no dupes, or they just outright ban them. And wave dashing is a big part of that. So it's busted. It's maybe supposed to feel busted.
Okay, well, if it's supposed to feel busted, nailed it. Here's the issue. It comes down to this. 2 key points is a lot for Lightning Bolt. Lightning Bolt is a 3rd level spell. Now, you might be like, well, Lightning Bolt has a range of 100 feet. This is just 50 feet. But this is not just 50 feet. This is also movement. So it ends up being still as powerful as Lightning Bolt, if not more powerful than Lightning Bolt, at the cost of 2 key points, which normally is 2 key points would get you like a 1st level spell, not a 3rd level spell. You would be wanting to spend closer to 5 key points, I think, for a 3rd level spell. And I don't actually think that that's good. Like, I don't like that. So I think the real solution here is to keep it at 2 key points and to make this way less, like 4d6.
Yeah.
And then I think you're golden. You could mess around with that, actually. I don't know what the exact dice should be, but it just shouldn't be as much as Lightning Bolt. Okay, cool. And then we get a feature at 17th level. Is this we get a cool car? Your soul has mastered the art of militaristic power and acquired treasures. Yes, it is. We get a car. As an action, you can spend 10 key points and get a car.
Lord.
These treasures can only remain outside the way. Okay, I'm not going to read the stat blocks for them. But that's fucking awesome, and I love that I think that's an excellent capstone.
Honestly, I don't think there are stat blocks. I think they just said you get a car.
All right, cool. Well, I think a capstone for a Captain Falco type character.
Very good. It's very good.
Getting the car, dude. I remember playing Star Fox 64 on the Nintendo 64 when it was kind of new, and figuring out how to unlock tank mode in multiplayer, where you could do PvP versus tanks, and then figuring out how to unlock people mode, where you could run around as a person and you could play it like a first-person shooter. Yeah. And that was like weekends and weekends of time with my friends.
Man.
Like,
yeah, absolutely.
So much fun. Oh my god. Anyway, I think this is okay. I think it's pretty solid, dude. I feel like there's a little, if you wanted to keep working on this, I would say for third level needs some work, and everything else, I think you could probably
it feels pretty good.
I would sit on it for a while. I would change third level, and then I would sit on it for a while, and I'd come back on it with fresh eyes, and you might find some things that you could add or take out, but pretty solid. Pretty solid for a little fox, or Falco. Yeah. Captain Falco!
Also, a couple of people in chat were correcting me that Fox and Falco are the only viable characters, and while they're almost certainly correct, and I was being hyperbolic, I will also say, I don't watch Melee.
Captain Falco. Anyway, thank you, Eclair Sky. My god, can you imagine how wonderful my day would be if when I woke up tomorrow and I looked up to the heavens, instead of seeing that abysmal blue, it was nothing but pastry as far as the eye could see?
I feel like you'd start choking pretty quickly.
No, I would start eating pretty quickly.
Well, you'd have to.
Pretty quickly.
You'd really have to.
It would be a great day. I would become a caterpillar. I'd become an earthworm.
Yes, and a Eclair worm.
Yes, could you imagine? That's the life. That's the life for me.
That's really
Did you ever read the Artemis Fowl books?
God, kind of. I think I read the first 1.5.
Okay, so I read them when I was younger. I don't remember if they're actually good. But I remember really liking them when I read them, and I wasn't super young when I read them. I was like, I think high school age.
Oh,
but
okay.
I wasn't like 12. I think I was like 15. And they had like a darkness to them that was really fun.
Sure.
But the other thing that they had to them that was really fun is it was like a fantasy version of like Ocean's 11, where everyone was insanely good at whatever the thing they did was. And that was it was so fun to have characters where it was like the kid's bodyguard is like the best bodyguard in the world, and he went to the Alps to like all that cool, just fun. But there's the dwarf character, and I like the fiction of dwarves in that universe where they are really inhuman. Like they basically are earthworms. Like they can like open their jaw to the same width of their body, and they can dig really fast by eating dirt and pooping it out.
And that's the Eclair bit. There it is.
Yeah. We all got together. Anyway, that's what I would do. I'd be that dwarf. Eating eclairs forever. Kip! Kip! Hooray!
Speaking of Kip just asked, have I seen that video about AMSA? No, and I have no idea what you're talking about. But I'm excited for your piece.
Master Hand. Now, Master Hand is not a play. So here's what I'm gonna say. We're gonna look at it. Is this
legal?
We are gonna look at it because I didn't explicitly say that, but I did inexplicitly say it. Although I do like that you have a GIF. But it's fine. I also will tell you, Kip, at the beginning of chat stream when I said I read somebody's homebrew a little bit beforehand and every single feature grew at higher levels. It's this one.
Is it this one? Yeah. Okay, to be fair,
first level feature grows. The 6th level feature, you get 2. Guess what? One of them fucking grows. 10th level feature.
I don't hate Master Hand, though, bro. I think that's so funny.
No, I like the idea of the Master Hand. I'm just saying that, Kip, your main feedback is this is too powerful, and the thing to remember when you are designing a subclass, and we'll talk about it as we're looking at it, but if you make a feature grow incrementally, it kind of is a feature at other levels. It's not just a feature at its own level anymore. So if you make a
Absolutely.
first level feature grow at 10th level, this right here is a 10th level feature that you are squeezing into first level. This right here is a 10th level feature that you're squeezing into 6th level. So you have to be realistic about that when you're making your homebrew. Otherwise, you are going to you might have a piece that feels really balanced early in the game, but the problem is that it will scale exponentially in power in a way that in the mid tier, late tier, it'll smoke the rest of the game in a way that is not going to feel fun for everybody. And you're going to be so late in the game that it's going to feel shitty to ask them to change also. Hunter's Mark, Magnify Gravity, Immovable Object, Maximilian's Earth and Grasp, Minute Meteors, Wind Wall, Black Tentacles, Gravity, Sinkhole, Big Enemy's Hand, Anti-Life Shell.
That's a big fucking spell list. That's a chunky spell list.
Are there any hand-related spells that are missing?
Don't think so.
I can think of a couple
cantrips.
Well, yeah, there's that, but I was going to say, I'm assuming if you don't get Mage Hand with this, that would be insane. But what I was going to say is there's spells that are sort of like having extra hands also, like Invisible Servant or Tensor's Floating Disc, things like that. Kind of cap that feeling.
I don't think either of those would do a great job of capturing Master Hand in the way that some of these have, right? Like Melf's Minute Meteors is about the gun thing that the hand can do, right? Like that kind of stuff. So I honestly think
the spell list is
good.
Okay. From a vibe perspective, I think it's excellent.
Yes, that's what I mean.
It is too powerful.
Yeah,
I think it is too good. There is only one spell on this list that isn't a legit banger. And unfortunately, you can't have them all be bangers. You have to it's like you have to accept that some of the spells kind of should be ribbon feature type spells. Now, for accomplishing the goal of Master Hand, big bang, biggity wang, I think it's fine. All right, let's take a look at what this thing's getting, though.
We're going to be saying that over and over and over again, and you kind of did it to yourself by deciding to build the literal god of this world.
You learn Mage Hand. You can cast it as a bonus action. It's gloved. And when you take the attack action, you can forego one or all of your attacks to make a melee spell attack with your Mage Hand, dealing 1d10 force damage. So you can punch people with it. Wait.
One or all. Okay. I'm not 100% sure what you're trying to accomplish here.
I know what they're trying to accomplish here. They are trying to make it work with Eldritch Blast, but unfortunately, Eldritch Blast is not an attack, it's a spell. So you will never have extra attacks with this unless you multi-class.
Right, but a first level tip could get you up to potentially a bunch of attacks, right? If you're a monk, or if you're if you get like a bonus action attack anywhere.
Patrick, yes, you are right. You are right.
No, that's fine. I'm saying literally my problem is just the wording. Forgo one or all doesn't mean I think what you want it to mean.
And maybe they mean one or more?
I think that's right. Because the way this reads is I can choose to forgo one, or I don't know, I've got 5. Let me forgo 5.
They meant one or more.
Make a single melee spell. That's what I'm getting stuck on. That's all.
At 10th level, it gets stronger, and its range increases to 60 feet. Again, this shouldn't be a first level feature. If you want to make it do more damage, I think that's fine, but I think you have to be realistic about that. So the scaling of this is very similar to the scaling of like the Fathomless Warlock, but they do 1d8 damage, and it becomes 2d8. And it's not force damage. So you're doing the best damage type. You're doing almost the highest damage die. So you have to keep that in mind. I wouldn't compare this to Fathomless because it's inherently going to be a lot stronger than that. Also, the range is getting doubled, which is not something that happens with the Fathomless.
I'm going to be honest. I don't even like that this whole direction, right? I think you would have been better served by doing something way simpler, like you can grapple creatures with your Mage Hand.
Yeah, that might have been nice. Well, it does. The problem with it, the other side of it, and actually, it is kind of a big problem, is it's intrinsically worse than Eldritch Blast.
Right, and you could just skin Eldritch Blast as it looks like a hand when I shoot it.
Yeah. That is the problem. That is the problem.
Right,
it's
and that's exactly what I'm saying. It's like it's just worse than Eldritch Blast, and it's so much more complicated, and it does. I can't put invocations on it. Like it's just not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get ambidextrous at 6. When you cast a spell using a Warlock spell slot, you can cast it as if you were in your Mage Hand's place instead of your own. That is insanely strong because your Mage Hand is not targetable in the same way that a Familiar is. So it's much stronger than casting a spell through your Familiar. I think that's probably fine. I do think that it's probably should be limited. I don't think it should be infinite because of the fact that Mage Hand is... Being able to cast from where your Mage Hand is going to be much stronger than casting out of a Familiar or something like that because a Familiar can just get squished.
How far can your Mage Hand
And we
go?
get another thing at 6th level? Yeah. Well, this one can go up to 60 feet. Normally 30 feet.
60 feet. Yeah, okay. I honestly don't think it's breaking the bank.
I don't think it's breaking the bank. I just don't think... But you also were getting a whole other feature. So maybe... This is not breaking the bank if it's the only 6th level feature.
I thought it was the only 6th level feature.
No. It is. Okay. It is. I dare say the creator might even argue it's the ribbon feature. We get Dominating Slam. When you hit a creature with your Mage Hand, you can expend a spell slot. You can smite on your Mage Hand.
I feel like I get it, but meh.
Again, it's pulling the Warlock in too many directions. It's like it's making you fight Warlock design a little bit, unfortunately. Also, it exists already. Like, we literally have a feature called Eldritch Smite. That's an invocation that we could take that is essentially already this. So it's kind of a nothing burger. So I would probably just drop it.
You honestly might be able to get a really cool class out of it, a subclass out of this, just by throwing half of it away.
We get Quick Fingers at 10 level. Ooh. Somebody call that fucking Pokemon. What's that Pokemon called that everybody here was trying to have sex with?
It's
somebody call Incineroar.
No.
Get them quick fingers going. Start us up a little barbecue. Hey man, where there's smoke, there's fire.
Yeah.
10th level, on each of your turns, you can make an attack with your Mage Hand as a bonus action. If you want to do extra attack with your bonus action, make it the 6th level feature.
True. Yeah, that's when that should come out. And then honestly,
also, you don't need a 10th level feature because every other fucking thing grows at 10th level. So that's your 10th level feature. So get rid of this.
I mean, I would make things not grow at 10th level and probably rethink this because we've already talked about, like, the Mage Hand probably shouldn't be attacking. But you got an open 10th level. That's something.
Yeah. All right. Next, we have Final Destination, which is a fun level if you're boring and you don't like items because you're like, oh, items make the game stupid. You make the game stupid. Final Destination.
You want me right now?
I will if you turn on items and make a random map so it's actually a fun game and not just a boring old straight line. Very heteronormative of you there, Patrick. Whenever you hit a creature with an attack using your Mage Hand, you can use your reaction to cast your choice of Eldritch Blast, Thunderclap, or Sword Burst from your hands space, even if you don't have access to those spells. You can use this twice. Kip, this doesn't really feel like a... So, two things. One, you should pay attention to the way Warlock Capstone features work. They all work very similarly, and this completely goes against that. And I say this often, you can go against the norm of a subclass. If you want to make a paladin and you want to give it something that isn't an aura at 7th level, you go for it. But you have to earn it. It has to it has to really demand it to be different. And so that somebody's reading it's like, oh, you know what? This is different, but I totally get why. This feature is a nothing. This is a nothing. This is another feature that doesn't feel like anything. Like, why are we getting 3 cantrips?
I think that's just a thing that that the hand can do, right? I think that's just like it's pretty much a straight pull from one of the boss fights.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's
honestly, if I were you, okay, if that's what you're trying to do, I think what I would do then is I would not do the 3 cantrips. I would think about what those 3 things are and essentially make your final move like you can do one of those 3 things. Like you know? And just like up the ante so they feel like a 14th level move. Part of the problem here is like cantrips are not exciting. They're useful, but they're not exciting. We want something exciting here. So I wouldn't lean on like cantrip magic here. I probably would take whatever the vibe is you wanted to get out of these 3 cantrips. and express it as its own unique feature. That way you can up the damage, and you can make it a little bit more bigger in vibe.
Somebody in chat.
Not a bad
said,
master hand, though, all things considered.
yeah, I mean, honestly, I think it's pretty good. Somebody in chat said you can stand up as the player and slam your fist on the table. Any creature figures you destroy this way are dead. I would love to see a 14th level feature that's just like, from where you are sitting, you can move any creatures to any other space within your current human reach.
There's a whole set of magic cards that work, that are like joke magic cards that are that.
That's funny. That's really good.
One of them, the card is, it's like you tap the card, and then you tear it up.
Yeah.
And then you throw it in the air, and any cards that are in play that get hit by the pieces of paper, something happens to. Chaos confetti, yeah. But I that would be a really fun thing to make for D&D. Maybe we'll do that.
A subclass,
but like
dude,
intentionally joke things where they like break the meta, like a barbarian where in order to rage, your adrenaline needs, like, you can only rage when your actual heartbeat is above a certain amount or something like that. You know.
That's really good. Yeah. That's really good.
Anyway, there you go. Master hand from Kip. Thank you, Kip. It's the master hand.
It worked better than I thought it was going to.
It did not go in the direction that I assumed it was going to go, but I actually think that I was not thinking about it like master hand. I was literally thinking about it just having a giant hand. Because master hand doesn't really do hand stuff.
Not really.
Not like that Pokemon. That Pokemon's all about doing hand stuff. Master hand just shoots lasers and shit.
My kingdom for lasers and shit. God almighty.
Dude, you don't watch The Boys, right? That's not a show you watch?
No, not really, no.
I'm very excited for the new season of it.
Yeah.
And I am, why am I getting a billion text messages? 1 second.
That's so many text messages. Jack Clay, is it you? Are you rigging this wheel?
Jack Clay!
Cinder? Texting him?
You know what they say about Jack Clay?
Yeah, I do.
He's no John Silt.
Yeah.
Kirby, another Kirby. Maybe we'll get to read it this time.
You have such big shoes to fill.
Oh my God.
You have no idea.
Well, I'm nervous
the whole
because
stream has been leading to this.
So I'm a little bit nervous.
We have a letter.
We have a letter, and I don't want to read it. Sure. Okay, do I read it? Or do I skip it?
Let's read the subclass first. Let's come back to the letter if we're feeling so inclined.
Okay, I'm also skipping the lore.
Sure,
this is a Warlock subclass for the... Is it a Warlock subclass? Yeah, Warlock subclass.
An interesting choice. Not my first, but okay.
I made a Kirby subclass that was a Barbarian, and the way that it worked was while they were raging, they had access to a special feature where they could essentially absorb the essence of creatures to gain special powers. And the way that it determined what power you got was by creature type, and it represented itself physically by you wearing a special little hat. And that was like the main gameplay loop. And all of the powers were pretty good. None of them were crazy, but I did try to scale them in a way where the monsters that felt like you would see them more were more simply useful. And the ones that you'd see less were more sort of weirdly useful.
I think that my ideal Kirby would have that core loop, but be based on a monk, because I feel like the rest of the monk chassis fits Kirby a little bit better.
Yeah. I also, I agree. And then the capstone feature for it, I think, was you could swallow creatures.
Yeah, true.
Okay, so this is Kirby. We got Absorb Elements, Featherfall, Gust of Wind, Warding Wind, Blink Haste, Freedom of Movement, Private Sanctum, Steel Wind Strike, Cone of Cold. Okay, I think all of these... Huh? Dude,
Private Sanctum?
Private Sanctum doesn't make any sense, but Steel Wind Strike feels like
Steel Wind Strike is great. Steel Wind Strike is great. Cone of Cold is great. Those are both, you get the masks of those things.
I don't know why we're getting Private Sanctum. Maybe because Kirby's very private.
That would really throw me.
Maybe Kirby's very private.
I also feel like Freedom of Movement is maybe not quite on the mark.
Oh, God. We're going to copy I pray that we're not actually copying full abilities, because this is the problem with copying full abilities, and it's why it's very hard to make something like the red mage or the blue mage or whatever the fuck, because
Yeah, it's just
monster
not
features
balanced.
are not balanced to work for players. So you can absorb you can have creature essence trigger you getting stuff, but if at any point you are literally getting access to the creature's features, then it's a no-go. Then it don't work. Then it's impossible to balance.
We get a sort of kind of version of that, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't hate it.
All right, well,
I've only read the first bullet.
Let's take a look. Starting at first level, you can use a bonus action to copy an ability from a creature at most one size greater than you, or from another source of an element in the environment. That's an interesting. I wonder how I would interpret that. I guess we'll see what let's see what the feature is, but that's an interesting. I don't know how I'd interpret that. This takes the form of a great wind opening from within. Okay, so this is all flavor text. Okay, so you can do this proficiency bonus number of times. You don't say this at the end.
Sure.
After this feature, you say you can do this proficiency bonus number of times. Okay, so proficiency bonus number of times, you can do any of these three things. You target a creature within 10 feet of you. They have to make a strength saving throw. On a failure, you learn the damage types the creature's learned prepared spells or weapons, or either.
And either.
Oh, and either absorb one of those types or an element related to their species. There's way too much. That's too vague, dude. Drop that whole second part. Drop that whole second part.
While we're definitely going to need to dial in on whether or not that language works, the way this works is you're picking up the element of a thing.
Yeah, so element. They mean element by damage type. That's what they mean. They mean damage type.
Yeah, they mean damage type.
So stealing a creature's damage type, I think, is very fun. It's not that good. It's not that good. Because most
but there
creatures
are other ways to do this, which I think are more interesting.
I like the idea conceptually. The problem is that most creatures are resistant. If a creature does elemental damage, they are usually resistant or immune to their own damage type.
Yes.
It's not that complicated. It's written in a very complicated way because they're using all of this extra wording.
And there's a couple more. All of these are kind of written in a way where
basically
it's not.
They said this was their first. They said this was their first subclass, so I'm assuming that's why. The way that you would write this, it would be something like. First of all, this needs to require something: an action, a bonus action. It's a bonus action. Okay, so you say as a bonus action, you can force a creature within 10 feet of you to make a strength saving throw. You also need to know. Oh, I forgot we're a warlock. A strength saving throw. On a failure, you learn all of the damage types that they can deal on their stat block, either through spells or attacks.
Yep.
You gain access to that element. We don't even know what it does yet, but that's how you write that. That's how you word that.
Yep.
When targeted with a range elemental attack, if you use the spell Absorb Elements, you can copy the ability of the absorbed element. That's already how Absorb Elements works. Also,
so this is
we shouldn't have an
absorb element.
Okay, so if that's the case, maybe you should just give us some sort of maybe you just get rid of literally all of this, and you just give us some extra uses of Absorb Elements. Also, we don't get Absorb Elements for free, so it kind of is shitty to need us to take a spell to get access to some of these features. But yeah, this is a very complicated way of just saying you get Absorb Elements. So I might just do that. I might just reinterpret it as Absorb Elements, or simplify it and use Absorb Elements as like your building blocks to build it off of.
Yeah, I could see that.
I apologize for the piece I submitted. I about tore my hair out making a Kirby monk. Just submitted it after work. Working on it for a day and a half. Dapper,
make sure you don't say May.
Dapper, I love you. Wait. I think Dapper did submit the Kirby that monk that got. I think that's what they're saying. I think that's what they're saying. I think that they were the one that said May. Yeah, man, I'm sorry, buddy. I don't think you need to be pulling your hair out or upset.
No.
That wasn't you? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, well, there was another Kirby monk that we literally could only read. We didn't even get to the features really. It was
I think it was like the right after the flavor text of the first feature. It was like you may, and then we had to leave.
You can hold one copy ability at a time. Dude, this language is so fucking confusing. And it can be held until you're unconscious or long rest, or can be this is so okay. So you're trying to cover all the grounds here, but you need to look at things that already exist that do similar things to what you want. So I would say something like you can hold one element at a time. Period. You keep the element until you take until your next long rest, or until you go unconscious, or until you pick another element. Period. When element absorbed, you can add 1d8 damage type to one weapon or spell attack you land per turn. Oh, and it keeps growing. I don't think it should grow like this. This is another one of those things where it's like, we talked about it in this last piece. This is too much. If you want it to grow, have it grow in the actual features, or make it grow not like a cantrip, because that's a lot of damage. Yeah, this is just fucking absorb elements. The whole thing is just absorb. Yeah, just look at the spell absorb elements. That's what you're trying to do here. You don't need to express it in 3 bullet points and 2 extra paragraphs. You're good. I don't really have much more to say because it's really just doing that, right? Is there something else that it's doing that I'm missing?
No, I don't think so.
No, yeah. So if it's really just doing absorb elements, then do not, don't worry about it. Just do absorb elements, or maybe it doesn't do exactly absorb elements, but use it to sort of structure the feature. Oh, and you get something else at first level. Okay, I'm so sorry. Your sentence structure is so bad. I'm not going to read your sentences. I'm just going to skim it and explain what's going on here, because I'm not going to be able to read this whole thing if I actually have to read it because of the way these things are written. Okay, so you get a free use of disguise self to copy a creature that you absorbed an element from. And you also gain some temporary hit points. I wouldn't do D4 is equal to half your monk level. That's too many. And this keeps growing. Okay, so here's what I'm going to say. Literally get rid of all of this, because I'm seeing what's happening here. We're starting to get immunities to shit. We're getting extra bonuses. That's way too strong. Tell you what. Keep it as disguise self and literally drop everything else. This stuff might be reasonable if this is all we're getting. And there's another first level feature. What the fuck? Okay, I think maybe we stop reading it here. I guess we could read reading. There's just too much going on. There's just way too much going on.
It's pretty busy. It's pretty
so
busy. I think if you want to,
if you want to build a warlock subclass, the first thing that you should do, even if you're trying to design it based off of Kirby, you should look at other warlock subclasses, and you should look at how many things they get. So, like, let's look at a warlock that's very powerful and gets a lot of things for a warlock. The Fathomless Warlock. They get one feature at first level that basically is a little bit of extra damage that they can move around. They get another feature at first level that they can swim. Then they get 2 6th level features. But if you look at what these 6th level features do, it's not much. And but not only is it not much, they say it very quickly. They say it's very quickly. Like, this is, you get resistance to cold damage, you can talk to fish. So, even though these guys, they get a lot of features, notice how none of these features are growing at higher levels. So, it's just, you overjumped a bit. You overjumped a bit. But, nonetheless, you gave it your all, and that's all we ask, and we appreciate you sharing. Babidi boob, babidi beeb.
Think we got time for one more?
Yep. I think we got one or two, depending on how long it is, I think.
Let's do it.
I'm going to say one more minimum, maybe 2. Also, if your piece did not get looked at, you should definitely share it in the Discord, because this is a really fun project.
Absolutely.
If Pokemon Trainer gives you 3 different characters, I want to skip it. I'm not going to read it.
Yeah, that's valid. That's valid. I wholeheartedly agree.
It looks like it does not. It does give you 3 different moves. Okay. Oh, it's like a Totem Barbarian where you're like picking different moves.
Cool.
That's
I'm
interesting.
down with that.
Yeah, I'm down.
Is it a barbarian?
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
It's the best class in the game.
All right, I accept.
Barbarians that follow the path of elemental beasts call upon an elemental beast. They summon elemental beasts. Okay, cool. Elemental spirits. At 3rd level, barbarians of the path of the elemental spirit can call upon the elements to aid them. When you enter a rage, choose one of the following forms to take for the remainder of that rage. Okay, so for power level here, beast barbarian, because this isn't totem barbarian where you pick it and you have it.
Yep.
This is you're picking it every time you rage. Your speed increases by 10 feet, and when you take the attack action, you add 1 cold damage for every 5 feet you have moved that turn. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how I feel about that. I'm going to read all of them, but I'll say why in a second. The range of your melee attacks is increased by 20 feet, and you deal additional poison damage for every 5 feet away from your target you are. That's too strong.
Yeah, that's busted.
That's just even if it was literally just the 20-foot reach, it would be too strong.
Yep.
And Fiery Dragon, you're able to move through your enemy spaces, but not stop there. When you move through them, they take 3 fire damage. All of these things with scaling damage based on distance, that's not a good way to scale damage. It's very easy to cheese that system. And beyond that, the damage is boring. I guarantee you, a player would rather roll a d6 and potentially do less damage, but get to roll the d6, than just do a flat 1 damage amount of times. Like, also, yeah, I don't know. I like what you're going for here, but you have to dramatically lower the power, and I think you need to rebuild the system of damage.
I honestly feel like so I feel like your speed increases by 10 feet, and I don't necessarily mind the added bonus damage for how much you move. I could take or leave that. The Fiery Dragon, again, I think is probably fine. 3 damage is weird, right? Like, make it a modifier or something.
Also, this can't happen more than once a turn.
Yes. And then for Grassy Frog, just give me Thorn Whip.
Yeah, you could just do something
right?
like that.
Like,
yeah.
give me Thorn Whip, and I can pull people in to then Barbarian the shit out of them, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's actually just a good thing to give a Barbarian.
So you're saying base rage damage is bad? No. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying a subclass feature that uses the same system as base rage damage is bad. But it also isn't even doing that. I don't think it's great because, again, I think the distance element is cheesable. And I think scaling things in numbers of 1 when you are making a subclass feature is, yeah, I think that is bad. I think it works for Barbarian because it doesn't scale in that same way. You were just being pedantic? Well, I don't know, man. You have, listen, I listen, I'm just trying, listen, I hold no resentment when I don't understand what we're discussing. I just assume everyone's always saying exactly what they feel.
We are all perfectly, universally true with
Listen,
each other.
you know I love you. Like, at the end of the day, I wouldn't argue with you if I didn't love you. If the rare occasion that I have viewers that I don't like, I just don't acknowledge their comments. Anyway, elemental variety, 6th level. You gain the power to quickly change the elements which you call upon. While raging, you can switch the elemental type. So, let me ask, Patrick. I want you to not answer this question. This is a let's do a quiz question for chat.
Quiz.
There is only one right answer. What level should a barbarian get this feature? What level should this barbarian get elemental variety? There is only one correct answer here. Sponge is right. 14th. Can anybody tell me why? Can anybody tell me why? Every feature in D&D, I'm pretty sure, maybe it's 10th, I'm pretty sure it's 14th. Every time a class has a feature in D&D where you're picking from a variety of things, whenever they get an ability where they can switch that thing at will, that's the capstone feature. Every fucking time. So this is not a 6th level feature. This is too powerful for 6th level. Heart of the Beast. It also doesn't really sell any fiction. Like, Pat, tell me if you disagree, but...
It's the Pokeball swap. I actually think it does sell the fiction.
No. Maybe it sells the fiction of the Pokemon, but
yeah.
By the 6th level as a barbarian, we don't want to be a one-trick pony. We want to feel like a character. Like, we should be getting a feature that makes us feel like a character. This isn't giving us any... This is literally giving us nothing new. We have nothing new at 6th level. We need at least 2 things at 6th level. We still only have 1.
No, I agree.
At 10th level, we get Heart of the Beast. Starting at 10th level, your connection to the elemental spirits you call upon strengthens. You gain resistance to cold, poison, and fire damage, and you can swap which one as a... or fire damage. You can swap which one as a bonus action while you have the elemental... This is silly. Here's what you do.
Just tie it to the element.
Here's what you do. Get rid of this, and at 6th level, you gain resistance to whatever damage type is associated with your form while you're in it. That's your 6th level feature. 6th level features are usually defensive features anyway. So just make that your 6th level feature. And then you could also have the damage increase here too if you wanted to. And then at 14th level, what do we get? While raging, get the following benefits from your spirit. The turtle, when you hit somebody with a melee attack, they're moved. Grassy frog, when you hit somebody with a melee attack, they must make a saving throw. They'll be poisoned, and you gain a fly speed. These don't... I think that you dropped the ball with the capstone. I don't think they feel...
I think that's probably right.
They're not selling it. I also feel like they all feel... Like, maybe Grassy Frog is selling something, but... Watery Turtle, I feel like there's other things that basically do this. And there's also definitely things that just give you a fly speed. I think it's a cool idea. I like the representation of the Pokemon trainer switching Pokeballs. And I think that works well. And I think that if you can figure out how to get the mechanics to match the vibe of that switching, I think you'll be in a good spot. But I think currently, the mechanics feel like they are not doing justice to the system that you have put in place that uses them. Does that make sense? Am I sound like a crazy person?
No, I think it does make sense. I question making this a barbarian in the first place. I just don't think that makes a tremendous amount of sense, and I don't think that the chassis is really serving you. You have what? Rages as a concept? Maybe barbarian rage damage, which you're not even referencing.
I know what I would do.
Yeah.
I would make it a druid.
Seems
and
right.
I would make it a wild shape option, and it would be a thing where you would wild shape to summon one of the pets. And then at 10th level, in the same way that the Moon Druid gets the thing where they can spend 2 wild shapes to get turned into an elemental, at 10th level, I would let you spend 2 wild shapes to summon like an evolved version of the Pokemon.
Or if you want to stick with the Smash universe, all 3.
You
spend 3 wild shapes to summon all 3 simultaneously.
And I don't know if I would express them as creatures or as, like, sort of moving area of effect. Because I think that creatures could work, but I think moving area of effect could be more interesting, because you could do something like the fire one could do passive AoE, the plant one could do grappling, and I don't know what the water one would do. Maybe it would move people around or something.
Honestly, I think it's potentially interesting because you could do something like they don't have hit points, but they do have AC, so whenever they're hit, you take their damage, right? And like kind of lean into that, like there's a symbiosis between, like, you're not really there, you're expressing yourself through these avatars, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, I think part of what flubs this a little bit is just the pick of Barbarian. I think that they went for, this feels kind of totemy, which is clever, and then lent into the Barbarian, which I don't think really does a lot for the character.
Yeah. I love Rage. I love trying to think about things to do with it. I do feel like part of the I think the tricky thing here is, I think I think it works if you think about the fiction not like this. If you think about the fiction like raging is not you summoning your Pokemon. You become the Pokemon is basically what I think it's trying to be. Like,
which I think is fine, but a little on the odd side, right? Because again, I don't think that any of the Pokemon particularly play off of the rest of the Barbarian chassis nicely, right? Like, none of these, if you're being the Pokemon, and that's fine, that's a totally reasonable way to interpret that. None of the Pokemon fight like a Barbarian fights, other than maybe Charizard.
Yeah.
So, maybe a fighter. I could see doing that as a fighter, because you get a little bit more flexibility. You can express more nuance.
You know what I could see? I want to say 2 things. One, I could also see you not needing to build this and to just be a Drake Warden and reflavor the Drake as a Pokemon because they can do different elemental damage types.
Yeah, you can already change the elemental type, and you could just change. There's nothing in the system that says, in the mechanics, that says you can't have just a different appearance and different name
I do
for each
like
of your
the
representations
idea.
of your Drake.
I do think something that could work in D&D either through as a Pokemon concept or as anything would be a elemental fighter.
Yeah.
Who had which was a pet class, and have a fighter that, because there isn't a pet fighter, and have them summon like a Memphit or like a little elemental of a type, and basically giving them the ability to switch between elemental types, and that that's a good translation of that. I think too.
Definitely drifting away from the Smash Pokemon Trainer, right? Because the Smash Pokemon Trainer is really, really, really heavily built around like Squirtle. Squirtle is speed, but very fragile. Venusaur is control, a little bit less fragile, and of moderate speed. Charizard is fucking slow, but hits like a tank and can take a punch, right? Like
you could do that with it. I mean, maybe that's what they're trying to do here, right? I mean, you are getting the speed bonus thing, so it's trying.
Well,
to
that's why this is built out the way that it is. I'm saying the idea of summoning like Mephits and stuff gets away from that, I think, a little bit.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, a
little bit more actual Pokemon Trainer and not Smash Pokemon Trainer.
Yes, yeah, I was going into the direction of actual Pokemon Trainer.
Absolutely. The canonical, real Pokemon trainers that we find in the real world in life, you know.
Yeah, I do know. Trainers. Oh, man. Patrick.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining me for this.
Absolutely.
Guys, we are going to be ending soon, but that is because we are going to be switching over to my premiere for my new YouTube video. I mean, I know we had to finish early, but I started early too. We got a solid 3 hours in. I feel like that's pretty reasonable. Yeah, please don't leave just yet, folks, because in about 3 minutes we are going to be heading on over to watch my new YouTube premiere. Ooh. And I'll tell you what, guys, if you like the thing that you made and you want other people to see it and you want to share it, first of all, post it in my Discord. People will be excited to see it. I'm sure people are chomping at the bits to read all of these, but also send it in on other nights. You know, just because you built it initially as trying to make Pikachu or Ike or whatever, now, you know, you don't need to rush anymore. Now you can take your time with it and you can sort of work through it and submit it on other nights, share it on other nights. You made a Bowser Barbarian? That's cool.
Also, whoever did the Shulk Artificer,
it worked well. Yeah.
I genuinely want to say, like, seriously consider thinking about stripping some of the shulkiness out and reskinning it as either like a rune artificer or even just like a martial stance artificer. And publishing it wherever you think that might be appropriate, because it was really fucking good. It was one of the more interesting takes on Artificer I think I've ever seen.
Yeah. I mean, every single person that submitted something tonight, I think, should be reasonably proud. Because
absolutely. I just hate Artificers.
But because like, I didn't call this a theme tonight. I called this a challenge because it is a
challenge. It is. Everybody did
like,
such a good job. Yeah.
The fact that anybody just tried, that's all you need to do. That's amazing. Yeah. Like, I like these challenge nights. I don't really feel bad being like, that doesn't work, because I don't expect most of these to work super well. Yeah, I expect a lot of them to like
hard
struggle.
Thing to fucking do. Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. It's a tricky thing. But that's the point, right? We push ourselves to do these kind of crazy challenges so that we have our tools are sharpened for when we want to do things. It's like that in that anime where the guy always works out with the crazy weights on, so that when he actually needs to fight, he can take those off, and then he's like, Barrr! That's what we're doing today. That's why the month of May matters. That's why it matters, because that's what it's doing. It's training you. Is it annoying? Yeah. Is it heavy? Yeah. You're gonna get weird little ankle rashes from wearing those things all day? Maybe. But you know what else it's gonna do? It's gonna strengthen those muscles. Strengthen them up. All right, guys. We are going to be ending stream. We're going to be heading over to the YouTube thing. It should immediately take you there when I end stream, but I'm going to end it now because I want to get to the premiere on time. But you guys are all amazing. Thank you so much. We will be back tomorrow. And I'm gonna be in the chat in the premiere. So if you guys want to hang out there, I'll be chatting it up there.
Oh yeah.
Patrick,
Thank you very much,
do you wanna say
everybody.
anything?
Great work. You guys are wonderful. Keep doing the homebrew, and go listen to Cinder and I on Unbalanced Encounters. Unbalanced
All right,
Encounters.
let's go watch a video. Bye. Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.